mean, we were just sitting back, you know, chopping it up, reminiscing about the good old days and all that. You know, tracking my roots, where I came from and where I'm going. But like I say, man, always said it. It's not about the destination. Nope. It's all about the journey. It's all about the journey, baby. Ain't nothing changed but the weather. The dangling carrot that hang from the rear view. Your dreams in the past ain't nowhere near you. Backseat drivers got nothing but 2 cents. Shotgun riders too biased, they all liars. I should get an A for effort, I'm too tired, but I'm never giving up, that's why I'm...
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of TK's Chronicles of a Black Sheep. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Straight. Hey,
what's going on?
Real quick, check this out. Give your son-in-law this message.
Okay.
I'm feeling that purple. What is it? That purple emerald with my name in the shining light. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Give him a shout out. Say, okay. Turn my whole mood around. I'm like, all right, I'm feeling it now.
Amen. Yes.
Yeah.
Morgan. Yes.
Yeah.
We need you in
I'm
the
like,
better
okay,
in this better spirit this week.
Yeah, man. It's been a rough week. Like for real. You only knew.
You barking.
Yeah, shit. That's how I feel right now. Feel like they don't work me. I want to be like, Mouser, I'm sorry, Mouser. Right.
The lashings. Oh God.
Right.
All right. Well, everybody, I have my co-host DW the Chatterbox already starting off. What's in there? Got Nika.
Just I ain't saying nothing else.
Yeah, right. Show play. Because I know the last 2 episodes, this is how we started off. Like we had the talk intro part, so I know everybody was like, "What the hell?" So they know you. They used to you already. So on repeat, Mano
coming for that 4th spot. I see that. He trying to get on the slide. He doing a job interview.
I mean, I get in where I fit in.
I've been vouching for you, homeboy. I've been vouching for you.
I don't think
I
we got
appreciate it.
You speak knowledge. You spit knowledge.
to deal with both of y'all.
I tries.
Yeah. All right, and a special guest we got on tonight. Anybody know that I lived in Dallas some years ago, and I have my Dallas fam that's there, and people I still communicate with. So we have my girl Nene on with us tonight. Yes.
Nene, aka the Shirley Murdoch lookalike.
You know, everybody tells me
We
that.
gonna back up off my dog.
Hit a note for us real quick. Come on. Come on.
And
We
we
ain't right now, but you hit it for us.
Oh my gosh, y'all are nuts.
only
So
want me to hit a note. Now I can.
Yeah.
If I want to. Yeah.
Go ahead.
For real.
I can if I want to.
She said if she want to. You heard it. Really? Y'all so
Oh, well, okay. Wait,
I think something wrong with my speaker ain't working right because I can't hear it.
Facts.
Living day by day, I feel so used. It's all right.
Well,
You
thank
know
you,
that's
girl.
my jam. You know that is my jam from back there. Like I told that's all up when it
That's
came
why I
out.
did it.
I feel it.
That's
That is
my
my son-in-law.
jam.
That's why I
Yes.
did it.
Yes. So I'm gonna tell y'all this little quick story with me and Nene. So we got thick as thieves, and they ended up having to separate us.
I mean, like
We got our work done, but we cut up, and that's how I ended up getting thrown over there with Lawrence, because they just went. They thought they was doing better, and they just put me in a different area, and it still was like the same thing. But we got our work done. But this one particular time, Nene took me to this strip extravaganza. I think
Are you about to go there? Oh my gosh.
Man,
So she about to reveal some trade secrets, huh?
All I'm gonna say is that's
I'm liking how this started.
I understood when T-Pain was singing I'm in love with a stripper.
Oh, that kind of okay.
It was some bad somethings up in there, but it was this one.
Oh, it was one that caught your eye, huh?
Uh-huh.
Look, she fanning right now.
Look, she
Thinking
cool
about
it.
goodness. Goodness.
Baby, he was just gorgeous. Adonis. He was gorgeous.
Woo,
Man.
we had to just touch him, didn't we? Just one time. We just had to lay hands on him just a little bit.
Yes. I was like, you want my paycheck? Yeah, that
reminds me of that got me thinking about Lady T.
With T don't really like swoon over men when she see him. She just be like, But this night, T was into it. I was like, okay, girl, I see you. Okay.
Because if it was like the crowd shift, because that was the night the dude with that was playing Survivor that had the
yeah.
It was to his knee. That's all I'm gonna say. It was to his knee.
He had a third leg. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That his third leg he could. Yeah, it was to his knee, dog. We wasn't ready. It was like everybody was like, "Ooh." We trying to make sure ain't nothing, no rats or nothing. We like, what they oohing and jumping for? He walked by us and it was like, girl raised his pants up. Who's like, ooh, oh, we see what y'all doing. Yeah, you can go that way with that. You trying to kill somebody. Go,
yeah.
Go on. Yeah. So we did. We cut up back then. We had a ball
back then. Like you wasn't cutting up day 4 yesterday.
Oh, we no ma'am.
Was I about to say you might want to take that shit off? Take that shit off.
You know what? I ain't playing with you today. I ain't gonna play with you either. Because you tried to put yours on last week and you was raising hell. So go there.
Who?
You.
Man, I told hey, that motherfucking bird, dog. Hey.
Man, don't start about this cookie.
Man, I'm telling you.
I heard about the cookie, B-Dub.
I'm good though. I'm straight. Well, actually, no. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick because, like I said, it's been a rough week. So we ain't did this in a while. And this week made me really think about it. How's everybody really doing? How's everybody really feeling?
You mean mental health wise?
Yes. Just in general, mental health, financially, personally, whatever. You hey, whatever you want to say. Picking boogers, whatever. How you feeling right now?
Bill collector still chasing.
Okay.
Definitely.
He said chasing. Oh Lord. Yeah. Keep running.
That ain't gonna change.
No, that ain't gonna change.
Even if you become the richest man in the world, they still gonna be
they're gonna create a bill then.
Remember back in 1992?
I need my money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
Everybody else?
I mean, I'm good. So this week was, it was a week. I can't say it was like overly stressful. I think I guess I'm gonna say my hater moment. I'm actually say it was nice for some other people to get in trouble at work besides me this week.
I'm glad you elaborated on that because I'm glad you elaborated because I was sure finna ask what do you mean a hater moment? So you were hating. That's accountability. I thought you was finna acknowledge you were hating on somebody, but okay.
No, I mean, because like when you be trying to do what you do, but there's some forces that won't let you be great. So it's like every time you turn around somebody doing this, and I'd be like, what the hell did I do? So this week it wasn't like on me, it was other people. So I was like, by time. I'm up in this like off my back because I just be feeling like I be under fire. My co-hosts know what I be going through, so they know and they be feeling like
I be telling her to quit.
See,
She open up her own
So
shit.
you have to go in. I work from home, so
well,
She works from home, so
my current occupation doesn't allow me to work from home.
right.
it could.
So,
Yeah, I gotta go in myself.
don't start. Both of y'all, Ren and Stimpy. Don't start.
Ren and
We ain't
Stimpy.
Oh, that's a call. See how black folks do you?
I know.
Oh.
I let it go.
They know. We've had. I know where they going, so we
Who?
we have our power.
Me?
You had to look. You had to back up DW look on your face, ma'am. That's why I said don't even. We didn't have the conversation. You didn't say what he said. Y'all both didn't said it. I didn't received it. We didn't have to.
Even when I
but you ain't doing
haven't
shit
said
with
nothing,
it.
I've said something. See?
You don't receive it, but you ain't doing shit with it.
You don't know what I'm doing, sir.
And the church say hallelujah.
Have a seat.
Nah,
So
nah,
you about
nah,
to catch
nah.
on fire. Sit down.
Nah.
No.
All right, Nika. You've been
Yeah,
quiet.
Nika.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Ducking?
I'm not ducking. I just a lot of things for me this week have been put in perspective. So I'm happy about that. A lot of revelation and reveals in my life. So I'm happy about that. Been getting that resume fixed because it's time to do something different and just trying to align my shit. So some moves need to be made. I got one that's overdue since 2007. It's been sitting on the back burner. So now it's on the front.
Oh, all right.
And we gonna
That's
see
a
what
good
happens.
one.
Yeah. It's overdue. So
That's what's up.
yeah.
What do over then?
Yeah, it's gonna get done. Yeah.
See,
So.
D, you had your time to sing "It's a Change Gonna Come" and you missed it. She just
I was waiting until she finished. I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Hey.
Look at God, right? Look at God. I have been touched.
Whoa. Baby. Sharon, what about Nene? What about you, ma'am?
That's right, Nene, aka Shirley.
Murdaki. Never mind. Let it go. Just go ahead.
I got it. I got it though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
We got it.
Yeah, I got the gist of it. Yes. I got where you was trying to go with that, but it was
I
wrong.
went. I just missed it.
Yes. Just like I missed it with yours. You know. Okay. Well, for me, as I stated earlier, I still work for the same, company that T and I met at. I work from home. I'm tired of it. I really am. I'm 51 and I'm getting tired. I want to do something. So I have, as Nika, I have reinvented myself.
All right.
And I'm branching out. I'm doing stuff. So I have come up with this plan to like travel agency. So I'm trying to build that up to where I can be like the travel planner. Not like a travel agency where you're just booking everything, but I also want to be able to plan their itinerary on everything and book those things as well. So kind of got started on it, and so far so good. So I'm just laying low, trying not to be out and about, just trying to work on that. So I'm staying in the house more, just doing that. So yeah.
Yes, that's what's up.
Okay, we're gonna hit you up when it's time for our reunion.
Perspective on a lot of things.
Yep.
Yes. Brings a lot to the forefront.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna hit you up when it's time for us all to get in one spot. So yeah.
Boom, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Definitely that.
And I got
I'm trying to go to Vegas, but we got certain people on the panel that don't like to fly.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't me.
I ain't gonna say no name.
I know.
Look, she just told on herself. Nobody would have never knew.
Anybody that know me already know what it is. Y'all
That's why I said I already know who it is.
When you drive, and we'll meet you there.
There you go. There you go. Man,
or you can catch a bus.
Ooh.
No ratchet.
I mean, I feel you. You can just jump on a ratchet plane. 2 hours.
Hey, how about we do a bus, a party bus?
Vegas is like my second home. I mean, during the COVID period, I was more in Vegas than I was in Dallas.
Yeah, the cheap was $15. Tickets was $15.
I'm telling you, tickets. We flew for $69.
Damn.
Oh, because y'all already at the hub.
Yes, $69. So I think I've been to Vegas 9 times within the last
dang, dog.
I'm telling you, home away from home.
What's your favorite hotel you stayed at since you've been there? Like, which hotel is your favorite?
Well, so I've never stayed at Treasure Island, but the last time I went to Vegas was in January, and we stayed at Treasure Island, and I loved every bit of Treasure Island.
Okay.
And I said, I'm going back. The rooms were clean. The rooms were nice. They had restaurants inside the hotel, inside the, the place.
The hotel,
and of course, I kind of won big there too. So, hey.
Okay.
So, yeah. Now, I've stayed at some nice places in Vegas. But I say this one, and it wasn't even a resort. It was just right.
You heard right. You heard restaurants, right?
No, I was about to ask why. You said the hotel was clean. There ain't no clean hotels.
Well, hey, there's some raunchy things in Vegas now. Come on, there's some.
Yeah, it is some.
Even the ones that you think will be the nicest ones are really the dirtiest ones. So you have to be careful. Yes, you have to be careful.
So the movie Hangover is for real. Motherfuckers be doing shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's for real. Okay, so there was this one lady. She was there for I think she just came for just that one day and spent her whole entire paycheck and was just sitting there like in a funk, in a daze. It was
I can see that.
Crazy. It was
I ain't with it. I don't like losing like that, so I ain't with it.
Right. And see, and I'm not like I'll gamble, but I'm not like just all out there just throwing every bit of,
Yeah, I can see that.
I'll play probably 100, to 2, and then that's it, and I'm done after that. I won't play anymore. And whatever I win, I keep it. Well, at least I try to. It don't always work out that way, but yeah.
I don't like losing, so yeah.
I'd be like, I remember the first time I went to Vegas and I lost. I was like, hold on, player, let's start over. Let's reset. I was just playing. I was just practice. That was practice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. After how much?
It wasn't like 100. No, it wasn't even 100. I know I lost 100 on the Texas Hold'em, and I was sick. I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? So I feel sorry for the sister that was sitting next to me.
Games, yeah, when you playing those types of games, you have to be quick. You have to be quick on your feet. Like I was trying to play blackjack, and
blackjack is a good one.
Yeah, and so I love blackjack. I love playing blackjack. So you have to be quick and you have to think quick.
The sister next to me was real quick. She had, I want to say, like a couple thousand. By the time she got her drink, she was broke.
Damn.
Yeah. She was betting high.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if she was betting high. I know she lost fast. I was like, ooh.
That's what I'm saying. So she was betting high.
I said, you must be finna do something strange with some change, because
really.
Cause hey, the look on her face, like she had that. What am I gonna do? Look like
just like that lady had. She was sitting next to me, and she was just like, and every bit of me wanted to just,
just give her a hug and say it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Cause she was.
She needed more than a hug at that point.
I'm telling you, them bills ain't gonna be all right.
She's gonna be out there doing something strange. Twerk song.
Right. Oh, stop it. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on tonight's topic. Why you look like that when I said it? Why you?
He look like he's up to something.
Man, I'm telling you, you saw that too, right? It was like you just said, like you ready, like
locked and loaded.
Oh, let's get ready to rumble.
I wake up like that every day.
But yeah,
all right, let's go.
Tonight's topic is his and her roles.
And what does that pertain to? I'm using my SAT words.
So we all know that in life, everybody has a role to play. Now, whether you're in a relationship, marriage, friendship, whatever, those roles tend to change from what was set before. And with the way that the world is changing, a lot of those roles have switched. Or they're more personalized, I'll say.
I like that word, personalized. Go ahead.
There we go. So that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. What the gender roles on, what they were, what they are, what they could be, and go from there. Now we're just gonna bow our head and pray before we get started, because Father God.
Okay.
Jesus. This gonna be a long, Lord, don't let it be stressful, Father God, but we predict that the two people on the bottom.
Oh, y'all finna get struck by lightning.
Just, a little much. So we got our alcohol, Lord Jesus.
That's exactly why you get struck by lightning.
Lord.
Straight to hell with gasoline draws on.
Just bless us that are not those at the bottom.
She driving a bus.
Amen. All right. Hallelujah. So,
amen. Hallelujah. Yes. Hallelujah.
Yeah. So. Nika Pinks.
Oh no. Don't have me set up for the okie doke.
What? You can start us off tonight.
No. You should have been getting the one down there in the corner talking.
No, you know damn well.
Because he probably got a list of shit he finna lay on us. A whole laundry list.
Didn't you just hear my prayer, Lord? Didn't you just hear my prayer?
I did. But I mean, let's get it over with.
Okay. So I'm gonna start it off like this. So today I saw this post. And basically it is a mother and looks like she has 3 sons. It says, teach your sons that cooking and cleaning are basic life skills, not gender roles.
I agree. Okay. That's the Bible.
Well, y'all agree?
So
that's the Bible.
So, well, you talking about in this day and age, or so? I mean, the question, I guess, gender roles is more in what capacity are you referencing?
Right.
Because that statement is not far off. I mean, before you marry, as you come up, when you first leave home, if you go to college or whatever you do, like, you're gonna eat out every day. So eating, cooking, cleaning, those things are things that you should be able to do. I shouldn't need somebody to come in and, I don't know how to clean up, or I don't know how to wipe my own butt. Like, those are things that you should naturally know how to do.
We can almost, don't make, okay, got you, point blank. You right. Now, I think all of us is around that age-ish where coming up, we were told the woman's place was in the kitchen.
I've heard it.
Yeah.
You know, women's supposed to cook, women's supposed to clean, women's supposed to do laundry, women's supposed to take care of the kids, women's supposed to with that laundry list that the women are supposed to do is long as hell. But as we have known, the way that things have changed, it's some women that you don't want in the damn kitchen.
Facts. Or in the laundry room.
Turn the white clothes pink. So let's just be honest. It's like, granted, we know what those roles were set back then, but as you coming into this new age, they don't fit for everybody. I know some people can't boil water.
I think they do. I think the problem is that folks have gotten away from that as far as setting folks up for success when they get out. Like fast food has become Sunday dinner.
True.
So it's no longer you sitting like the family come together on Sunday and fix a meal. And that's how you learn how to cook. Whether you male, female, or however you identify yourself, you sit there, you sit there and listen to whoever's in the head person in charge. Like, hey, give me that potato. Hey, give me this, give me that, and you sit there and help them put together a meal. Now, hey, what you want from McDonald's? What you want from Wendy's? Oh, we going to such and such. We going to this and that. And so that's killing the passing on and the education of how to operate in the kitchen. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, how many people in here had in their school had home economics, shop, and what was the other one? Shop, horticulture, and it was automotive. They don't do that shit no more.
Right. No. True story.
They don't do that shit. They stopped that shit like in the 90s, like 80s, no, like 90s, early 2000s. They stopped that shit then.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
I've never heard of kids doing home ec anymore. I haven't heard it in a long time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So now you got to look at those skills of being lost. So you, in a way, you can't fault the people for not knowing how to do it, but in a way you can, because
lack of effort.
Because I say you can Google everything. You can Google how to goddamn build a car. So you could Google how to make a damn peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Right. Facts.
Yeah. So that's just me. Now, as far as the roles have gone, the roles were set up. Well, supposedly the roles were set up biblically, where the man is the provider, he's the head of the household, blah 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 blah, XYZ, which is true. However, what is happening, I feel, is that the learning curve for men is different from the learning curve for women. Because if you look at it, there's a lot of single parent homes, majority of them women. So they're looking at raising their kids from their eyes. I'm a firm believer of a woman can't teach a man how to be a man.
Facts.
You can teach him how to do manly things, but you can't teach him how to be a man. Like, you can say, hey, you need to go out there and learn how to cut this grass. You need to go out here and learn how to screw in this light bulb. You need to learn how to do this stuff around there. But as a leader of the house, only a man can show another man how to do it. And that's the thing that kind of for me, it bothers me when I hear little kids being told they're the man of the house. Nah. And then this whole, and I understand how economics work, when now you got more women making twice as much or more than the man. I got that. I understand that. However, that still does not shift the roles. Just because you make six figures and he makes $50,000 doesn't mean his point of view isn't valid.
Right.
And you should not be basing a household decision on just you because you have the higher income. And that's the same thing with the if he made that, because at the end of the day, you're a team. And if y'all can't work at a team, y'all not gonna make it. That's why divorce is so high.
Factuals. Can I touch on something that he said? He made a statement regarding what was it? It was regarding a woman can't teach a man how to be a man. I agree with that, but another thing I want to piggyback off of with that statement, but even going into where you talked about the Sunday dinner, the family dynamic has been broken down. And so as you were making a statement earlier, especially for us here in America, and a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the issue, like this discussion that we're having, is a bigger issue in America or in a westernized mindset as opposed to other places in the country. And that's just a reality.
In the world.
In the world. And so, number one, if we look back at first off where it began in government. But we don't look at that aspect. So what has happened is that so much pain and suffering has occurred that we've been blinded to realize that, look, the actual culprit and who broke down the family dynamic was not the black man or the black woman in America. It was those who were in power and in authority. Look at the government. The government stepped in to try to demasculate the black man. Hey, check this out. As long as you don't got that dude here, we're going to make sure you got somewhere to stay. We're going to give you money for food. We're going to make sure your kids got insurance so that their medical issues are taken care of. We're going to make it a way for you to live, because think about it. Women wasn't able to go out and get the jobs back then that they're able to get now. So this whole all my women independent mindset began as a ploy against the black culture, but we didn't realize that. And so now what has happened is that it's transcended to now there's aggression between us. There are these issues and apprehension toward one another because, well, y'all ain't been there. Now, if you think as a black man in that same scenario, the black man is the head of the household. He has to make certain decisions with logic, because men and women are wired differently. Women are more emotional, just naturally. Y'all are more emotional, so y'all react and think more out of y'all feelings, and men are set up naturally to be more logical, more rational. Now, think about this. Would you as a woman, generally speaking, women, it would be a harder decision for women to say, okay, this is my family. If I'm here, I know that I'm not going to get the opportunity that other races and cultures in this country get. So it's going to help them more if I step back. We wasn't in the position where we had to do that. But think about the sacrifice of a man and the love a man had as a leader to say, my family would be better off if I step back, because then they'll be able to be taken care of in ways that I'm not as a man able to, based on X, Y, and Z.
Not only that, too. If you really look at how we were in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, all our jobs were in factories. So we had to be gone for a long period of time. So we had to leave the household for weeks at a time just to make it ends meet and send it back home.
Right. And so those things, as a man, that's a decision that if we break it all the way down, is never really, I'm not saying we should be praised for, nobody should be praised for, but you got to think that's a hard decision, to take care of as a man, because most times I'm not leaving my family. So we're going to struggle more and we may not make it, as opposed to, all right, I'm going to let these folks do that and I'm going to be behind the scenes doing what I can to make sure they're straight. And if you go back further into the slavery days, it wasn't even an option. You were taken. It wasn't, so a lot of the things that we deal with as far as coming into now, a woman would only be able to teach a man or a boy how to be, or she would only be able to project onto him the type of man or the ideals of a man that she has. So she would only be able to tell him, hey, this is what I feel as a man you should be able to do. That's a complete difference than what the actual role of a man would be. You have to see that, model that, emulate that. A man would never be able to teach a girl how to be a lady, but I can tell you the things that a man would not find appealing or appeasing to the eye. So it's the same scenario. A man can't raise a woman, but we can input and try to influence in certain areas, but it would need a woman to fully teach her, and vice versa. A woman can't make a man. She can only teach him certain things from a woman's perspective. Those perspectives will always be different because we're naturally wired differently.
Whew, you said a lot. Okay. you said a lot, and I won't even lie. I kind of checked out after a moment because you said something. I'm like, wait, what did he just say?
I think Anthony's spirit is in the midst tonight.
Huh?
I think Anthony's spirit is in the midst tonight.
I'm just trying to figure out if I just want you to probably reiterate one part just to make sure I understand right.
Okay.
So the government offered women these things to help their families, and the Black man stepped away so that she can get the help from the government that he couldn't provide.
Well, see, so right there, you're responding out of emotion and not out of logic. I'm gonna tell you why. Why. Because listen, so is it fact or not fact that back in the 50s, 60s, even 70s, Black men, especially in the South, were not nowhere near, even still today, a lot of time, were not afforded the opportunity as other cultures in this country? That fact or opinion?
Okay, go ahead.
So based on the facts, the government is the reason that Black men weren't able to provide, and a lot of times you hear about the impoverished conditions of the Black people as a culture. We weren't afforded the opportunity because you got to look at it. We weren't looked at as the same level class citizens as other cultures. So other races were given opportunities that we were never given. Not to say that in today's time that that's a legitimate excuse, but fact is fact. They stepped in to basically encourage the separation of the Black household. We just didn't see it at that time. Now we can see that because we outside of that situation. We looking at it a different perspective. But back then, in that time frame, you know, it was not the opportunities. They weren't there like they are today. So the government stepped in. If they catch you up in here, you gotta go. I can say this because I grew up. My mother was on housing at one point. If they come do their little inspection, my dad had to pack all this stuff up, take it out the house, put it in the car on the day they were supposed to come. The man couldn't be in that household. That was the way the law was written. That was the stipulation.
Yeah. So, everybody was around when the crack era happened, right?
Bingo.
In the 80s, right? And I know you heard the term Reaganomics.
Yeah.
That's how it started. It made it. I wouldn't say the government did it on purpose, but it made it easier for the Black woman to be like, you know what? If I do this, then I'll get XYZ. And the Black man was like, I hear what you're saying. So, in order for us to hustle, get this hustle on. And granted, this is not 100% for everybody. Let's be honest. There's some.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Please be honest.
Some bad ones out there. Some dudes out there who should have been castrated at birth.
Fact. But shouldn't even been born.
For the majority of them, these are the cards that were dealt. They were dealt.
That's the demographic I'm speaking for. That was the demographic I was speaking for. I wasn't speaking across the board, but
that's why I've been looking at
y'all know it's bad. It's bad women and it's women who do that shit on purpose. They would rather just get knocked up by a whole bunch of dudes and live on food stamp and stuff for the rest of their life.
Oh, do y'all really? Okay.
Huh?
Baby, okay.
Come on.
I hear y'all saying that mindset of back in the 80s. But if everybody is so knowledgeable and aware of what's happening, then why are we still doing the same bullshit today?
Because it's deprogramming. We're not speaking.
So y'all feel like women would just rather sit on government assistance rather than have the father in the household?
See?
Listen, y'all talk about it all the time. Y'all talk about I was about to say y'all talk about people that y'all know all the time that's doing this. You sit there and say, this motherfucker got 4 kids by 5 different people, paying $12.
4 kids by 5 different people?
Exactly, because she got 2 niggas thinking that the same kid is both of theirs.
Thank you.
Who you be dealing with?
Thank you. Y'all know them. Y'all know them. Y'all know people like that. So don't act
I don't know nobody like that.
Let's pause the conversation. Because now y'all being unrealistic. Because remember, we listen.
We have had conversations
about people who do that don't
not,
even know that their kids don't.
Not the 4 and 5. We ain't talking about 4 and 5. We've talked about people having
it might be two.
Kids.
It might be two kids with 3 different baby daddies.
Well, I don't know nobody that rock like that.
It's still the same reason.
I don't know nobody else.
Unless you carry the one. If you carry the one, then
right. But nowadays it's easier because you hear all women. Well, you hear women talk about, well, all I gotta do is pay $12 for rent, or I got $700, $800 for food stamps. They paying my light bill. What the fuck I need to do? Why I need to do that? Half of them selling their food stamps, going to get their hair and nails done. So you know the people are out there. You know they're gonna steal
that part. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It is a lot easier. I'm not talking about for the ones who don't want to be on it.
Right.
They're the ones fighting to get off of it, and I commend them. But majority of the people that are on it are doing it because it's convenient.
Right.
You in a three bedroom, hell, Section 8, you can get a goddamn house. The normal people be paying $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, and you paying $300 for a big ass house.
Right.
And oh, by the way, you can fuck it up and walk away.
And don't pay nothing.
They don't have to pay nothing. So it's easier. It's easier. And you see it all the time I ain't gonna say you see it all the time. But you see it, you try to ignore it because it frustrates you. It frustrates the shit out you. Because you looking at your situation and you're like, I'm sitting over here working my ass off to the bone, trying to provide for my family. And this fat bitch over here got all these kids, ain't doing shit, paying $12 in a goddamn rent, running dudes in and out the house, and she living like a motherfucking queen.
Facts.
Don't get bug eyed because you know it's true. I'm telling the truth.
Facts.
I was talking about the whole dynamic. Y'all talking about running a black man out of the household. That's the part that was the point. I had a man in my life that was there. I'm not gonna put him out and say, "Oh, you gotta go." I won't.
But Nika, you're responding out of emotion, not out of your logic.
How you gonna tell her how she responds?
I'm listening to the response.
In a gender world, how you gonna tell her how she feel and how she responding?
I'm not telling her how she feel, but I'm saying I'm listening to the response. What she's saying is not a logical response because when she started thinking logically, what she took was the response to a different question. So what we spoke about was in those times where this was set up, right?
Okay, so to elaborate on what DW was saying, Nika, about the man had to pack his stuff up and hurry because the state, it was Section 8,
right,
where the woman could have this big elaborate apartment, all the amenities and everything, but the stipulation was she had to be single with kids. She had to be a single mother with kids. So therefore, if she has a live-in man in the house with her on the day of inspection, the man would have to pack his stuff up and leave the house, because if they find any sign that a man was living in there, the lady would be thrown out of and kicked out of the Section 8 program. So that's what he's saying. That's what I
was talking about.
Right.
And so when you use that dynamic and you set that up, it becomes what we don't see, because you got to think about it. It's generationalized. So it started in the 80s, the 70s, 80s, right? We in 2021. There are whole family lines that have literally, this is how they live. You have so many women who never married because the moment I get married, I lose all this. I lose my independence. I'm an independent woman.
But Mano, you can't. Okay, so for women nowadays, and I know men are so like, she don't need no man because she say she's independent and she's this and she's that. But women these days now, a lot of women are such go-getters. They want everything too, even though they don't have the man, but they want the things that they, you know, in life, that as if they had a partner in life, right. You know, somebody that, you know, women now, they're more educated. Mm-hmm. They're more, you know, they're more independent, right. Self-sufficient, all mm-hmm. of it. So, you know, they're go-getters. And so some men get intimidated by those types of women. And they feel like, and I'm not saying that that's you, Mano, but you were just saying that Nika was operating off of, you know, emotion. And so that's why sometimes the Black woman, and not just, you know, I'm just saying because I am a Black woman, we get labeled as angry, you know, if you watch TV, you know, and some of these reality shows, and this is the very reason why I kind of don't like watching reality shows anymore, right. Because they have made the Black woman look bad, you know, look bad in the light of other people, you know. So for me, that's why I don't watch reality TV a whole lot. I really don't watch it anymore. You know, I go online and hear what everybody else is talking about, but I really don't sit there and watch it anymore because I get upset because I'm just like, well, it's a setup. It's a setup for failure for Black women, and you know, and it's just it's always designed to keep us down, to keep us, you know. And so like you were saying, DW, the Reaganomics, you know, I'm 51, so I remember all of that stuff. You know, it was there for women, but those women back in that day, because they wasn't sufficiently educated, some of them probably had maybe a 5th or 6th grade education, but now the women, now we're getting masters and doctorates and everything, you know. So women nowadays, we're more educated, we know better, we know more now, we know better. So therefore, you know, you don't hear about Section 8 anymore these days. You don't hear you don't hardly hear that anymore. Back then it was a thing. It was like I'm living high on a horse, you know, because I got the government is giving me all these things. Nowadays, the Black woman, you know, we're out there trying to get our own, you know. A lot of us don't want to be held down by the government. We want to be out there and doing our own thing, living our own life, making our own money.
Yep. And I feel like if a lot of those Black men, fathers, were there to do their part, a lot of those Black women would not be in the situations they are in. That extra income for taking care of those kids, that helps. That matters. That extra help where daddy can watch them kids instead of mama have to stay home and watch them kids so she could better herself and her education and get a better job. I just don't feel like we ran them, or, you know, they're being ran out the house, because a lot of women would love that extra help from those dads to be there. But when the dads aren't, what do? I'm going to put him on child support. I'm going to get these food stamps. I'm going to put but if he was doing what he needed to be doing, I doubt a lot of that would even happen. They need the help, so they gonna go get it, because they know the government ain't gonna tell them, man, say, look, I ain't got it this week, but I got new days. I ain't got it this week, but I'm up in the club. They gonna get it from the government. They gonna get it every month on time, and they taken care of, and ain't got to worry about being put out their house. Their kids gonna have what they need. Their kids got insurance. Their kids being fed every day. So in that aspect, why should I knock them for doing what they gotta do if the daddy ain't present?
But you just kind of piggyback. You kind of said the same thing I was saying. The only difference is you using now. I'm talking about where this began. If we was talking about gender roles, we're gonna go back to where gender roles was instituted. You know, even in those times, that's where this began, was where the Black man was being being misplaced because of the fact that, hey, we got better. We can make it better if you ain't in the household, because they can give us what you can't. Not that you don't want to, not that you ain't gonna try to, but that you ain't able to. See, I'm not talking about so that's why I said she was responding out of the emotion and not the logic, because I was talking about in that time frame. Now, if we be realistic, what has happened is that mindset got set up, and we as a black culture got stuck in that. And so what happened is that the reasoning changed why the black man wasn't in the house, but it was still the same thing going on. At the end of the day, it was the same thing. Back then, it was so that my family could be better taken care of, because me as a man, so you gotta be realistic with yourself as a man to say, I'm not able to. Not that I don't want to, not that I ain't gonna try to, but I'm not able to because I'm not afforded the opportunity to do what these folks can do, because they won't give me that because of the color of my skin. Therefore, my family will be better taken care of as a man. It's a better decision for me to agree with, okay, I'm gonna stay out the house and let them think I'm not here, so that my wife or the mother of my children and my kids will be good. Now, what happens is that there became this level of comfort. And so then when he would try to come back around, I don't need you now. That's what I'm saying. The beginning, it started then. It has just now grown, because then it became a broken cycle. Families became used to the man not being there. They gonna make sure we straight anyway. We don't need them. So then that whole I'm independent, really you're not independent. You're just you're independent of the man that helped you create these kids. You're still dependent on the man to make sure that they keep the kids straight. So the whole independent woman thing is really, and I'm not saying that there are none, and these days there are a lot of them, but where that stuff started coming from back then, it really wasn't an independent woman. You just were independent of the man that helped you make these kids, because you relied on that government, because you knew you could depend on the government. But that man knew they could depend on the government. So I'm gonna step back in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. It was a conscious decision. Nowadays, we can't use that as an excuse. It's just a broken cycle that needs to be addressed and needs to be fixed.
But I and here's okay. I'm gonna address Nika first, and then I'm gonna address Nene. The comment about you talking about the dude saying I ain't got it. That's, don't take this the wrong way, but that's poor choices on the individual who picked that man. You knew he didn't have shit when you started fucking with him. Like, for real, let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade. If a duke, if you see him and you see certain things, certain characteristics, and you ignore them, that's on you. Now, here's the thing. The other thing too, I was about to say, is the fact that those numbers are a lot smaller, but they're getting more of the attention than the dudes who are actually out there trying to be in the life of the kid who was fighting for, who anytime the kid needs something, they got it, or they got a stash on the side for the child when he needs stuff. But everybody want to focus on or amplify the dudes who don't do shit. So right. That's the picture that everybody's gonna see. The dude who are like, oh, I ain't got it, or the dude you see, like you said, you see him in a club doing XYZ, doing their thing, popping bottles and stuff like that. Trust me, I got family members like that. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I got family members like that. And I tell them all the time, you give motherfuckers like me a bad name. Somebody who's fighting to stay in their child's life because the shit that you do, and then society sees the shit that you do versus what I'm doing. Why? Because the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Everybody see, oh, you got these deadbeat fathers. They don't see the other fathers that are trying to do shit. All right. Now, for you, Nene, about the independent woman, no man has an issue with the woman being not successful, being a go-getter. The issue is when a woman throws it in a man's face. Mm-hmm. That's where the issue comes in. When a man, because truthfully, it's emasculating the man.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've experienced it, and it's not. That's where you start getting conflicts. When, granted, you may make more than me, but when it comes to making a decision for the household, we come together and talk about it. It's not you make the final decision because you make the money. Nah.
Right.
That's not how I go. we make a decision together. If we don't agree, we come up with a compromise, what they call a compromise. It ain't because I said so. Nah, I don't give a damn if you the first black female neuropsychologist who learned how to pick boogers without using a finger. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, it's me and you.
Right.
Right.
And
Now,
again,
when you
that's
start,
not everybody's situation.
So DW, so when I say some men get intimidated, I'm not saying that.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Right.
No, I agree.
Some men are, even if the woman is there trying to be the most supportive person in the world.
I agree. Totally agree.
Right. That man is still intimidated by the fact that his wife or his girlfriend makes more money than he does. So he finds every little. He has some insecurities about it, right? So he finds every little issue that the woman says, and she may not even mean anything by what she's saying, but he finds issue with it. So to me, that's more on his part, that he's insecure about what is going on, about how what he's making and versus what she's making. And some men get so intimidated by that, even though the woman is not even, like you said, she's not out there trying to belittle him, or she's trying to be his support and let him know, hey, I got your back no matter what. We're going to do this, and we're going to do this together. But the man will still find an issue with that part.
That's ego. That's straight ego.
And true that. Right, and don't let the boys find out that she making more money than him, because then that feeds that fuel of that man, and then he's feeling this big because his boys now know.
Because his boys saying, "Oh, she wear the pants in the family."
Many times you don't even have to say nothing about anything relative to you making something. It's the man himself. So just real talk. So we're gonna hit some of the comments that's coming up. One of the comments, hey Dansby, she said men should stop associating things and actions to their masculinity so that they don't feel emasculated. Clean up your ego.
Ooh.
I feel that, but at the same time, so that's a two-sided coin, because then a woman shouldn't be able to use how much money a man makes to determine how much of a man he is. Because let's be real, a lot of time, a man not providing a certain lifestyle or a certain type of thing that diminishes him as a man in a lot of people's eyes based on what is put out in the media. Now, we're not saying it's right, but if we be realistic about
you know what? It's not even the media. Because think about it. I like you when you go back to history. When growing up in the black community, who got all the women?
The one that had the money.
The dope boys.
Right. The one, the flashy one, the one that had the money, that dressed nice, that had the nicest car, the big car, the house, the jewelry, all that. That's who got the women. That's what women looked at as, oh, he's the man.
You can say that for now too. For this days, this day and age now.
But also,
if the man is flashing, the woman she's gonna be attracted to that one over there because he's flashing the dollars. He's making it rain. So that woman is gonna look to that guy versus looking to the guy that's just standing in the corner chilling.
So then you can so that's two sides of the same coin then. So you can't say don't associate actions and things to your masculinity if that's what y'all are gonna look at as what's gonna determine the man he is.
Okay, first off,
when
we start going back in the day, because y'all are harping on back in the day. Back then, a man was defined, which y'all have all said, by the way he provides for his family. Point blank. So if a man can't provide, what is going to draw a female to that? Most fathers would not even let their daughters go to a man unless he had and he could provide. Okay. So it's just not how we live it now. That was set back then. That's set like that in many cultures, because if you can't take care of my daughter, then you don't need my daughter if you can't take care of her and make sure she's good. If she's not going to be better than what she's doing here in this house, then why am I gonna give you my daughter and you gonna take her under, or you gonna have to come move your ass in my house because you can't take care of my daughter? So it's not so much with everybody, and I'll say that it's not always financial and material with everybody, but in some people that seed has been planted. Right. But a lot of that is culture and design for, I don't want my child to suffer. I don't want them to be in this situation. There's a lot of situations where a man just won't work, and a woman does end up having to go back with family to get on her feet to better herself so that she can move out and get her own.
That's true.
And then, and in that situation, she has every right to. If the man does not get up to work. Now, here's a caveat. Here's a caveat to that. Or maybe it shouldn't even be a caveat. This should be a question. What if the woman's working and the man is handling things at the house?
If that depends on them.
If they are
that depends on them having a conversation.
Thank you.
Sitting down and saying, hey, well, if we do this, I'm making more than you. It costs this much for childcare. So if you can stay home and take care of this and you doing your part, not sitting at home playing a video game all day, you taking care of the laundry, you making sure the kids are getting where they need to go. You're doing what I would possibly do if I was a housewife, then that's up to them two people to decide on those dynamics. In many situations where the woman is making more money, hey, daycare is a punk and a half. It ain't no joke. That's gonna be a house note for somebody, depending on how many kids are involved.
Right.
It may be greater benefit for that family to do that. But as you stated, that man has a job. So what if it's decided vice versa to do that? But he has a job, not that he don't have a job. He got a job. So he's still putting in. It's just in some situations where, even like now since COVID hit, hey, it may be better for you to stay at home with the kids. It may be safer for him to stay home with the kids because her income is greater and they could survive better.
Right.
It just depends.
So I think maybe then roles these days might have been. I mean, because we really still haven't even since been on. We really haven't defined fully what the roles are. Because we go back then, and we say that the roles aren't necessarily applicable today. Then what would today? What are the gender roles of these days?
I think the gender roles are with what works for you and your family. Because as y'all stated, yes, man, everybody don't belong in the kitchen. I highly agree.
True.
But at the same point, maybe he cooks better. Maybe she washes clothes better than him. Maybe he cleans up better than her. That goes with what's in your household. I think everybody's role as a gender is different according to the relationship and the dynamic that they're in.
Yeah.
And you
so then we should just throw gender roles away then.
Yeah.
Well,
in some ways, yeah. If you see it and it needs to be done, do it. Like, why you waiting on him to do it? Why you waiting on her to do it if you can do it? That's why we need to set people up to be self-sufficient.
Right. I want to play devil's advocate because I saw.
Go ahead. Somebody.
So I saw this video yesterday. And it threw me off because of what I saw. So this lady, she says she wakes up every day and goes to work, and so she feels like she has to get up and make his breakfast, make his lunch, you saw this video? Make his lunch, make his breakfast, make all of this stuff. Do everything for this man, and but she never stated that she didn't work. But the video showed her in scrubs. She picks up his dry cleaning. She does everything. So when he gets home from work, she has a foot bath ready for him. He sits there and she scrubs his feet. And she scrubbed his feet. She was scrubbing his feet, gave him his drink while he sat and watched TV. She sat and scrubbed his feet. Then, after all of that was said and done, She laid on the couch where he was still sitting up, but she put a pillow like on his lap, laid her head on that pillow on his lap, and he's patting her forehead like a little pet, like a pet, like a dog was sitting next to him. So for me, now, you know, for me, and I was, you know, being in a marriage, it was, you know, I was the chauffeur, I was the cook, the clean, you know, I was everything. So it was just like, okay, now, where's the reciprocity in this? Where's the reciprocation? I don't see him saying, well, since she's doing all this, this is what I'm going to do for her. He never once did they say that. Never once did any of this said. I'm not saying that's not what he, you know, he's probably doing any of it, but this video was all about what she does for the man. And I was just so taken aback because I'm just like, oh my God, it made me think of that movie Stepford Wives, where Stepford Wives, where the woman was just like, hi, honey, welcome home. Here's your drink. You know, it was just like, oh my God, like what is going on? So for me, that just, it threw me all the way off. And I'm not saying not to cater to your man, because hey, if you have one, cater to him, yes, but it has to be reciprocated too. You know, because in this day and age, we're tired too.
We working like they working.
Yes.
And I got that, and I totally understand that, and I'm glad you said what you said at the end, because I was gonna ask you. My question was gonna be, what's wrong with doing that for him?
Right.
I got the whole reciprocation. If it's not reciprocated, then it's an issue, and that goes both ways.
Is that a demand? Of my question would be, is that a demand? Like, is he demanding it, or is that just her as a woman saying, "Hey, this is just what I feel I want to do for you"?
It was a TikTok, so you don't know.
You don't get the whole picture.
You don't know. So it showed her.
It was clickbait.
You know, because it looked like she worked too, because it never once said, now this was her talking. She never once said, I'm a stay-at-home mother and wife. It said, as his wife, I feel that since he goes to work and takes care of this family, I feel like I need to make his breakfast, make his lunch for him, and, you know, send him off. And then when he gets home, I wash his feet. I give him his drink where he can sit and relax.
You don't know. He probably sent her ass on like all expense paid vacation by herself. Just go relax.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't say any of that, but I'm just like, where's the reciprocation with this? Like,
was this
be all about the woman catering to the man? The man, you know, also, you know, and then at the end it said, happy spouse, happy house. Right, T?
I like that.
Happy spouse, happy house.
What's wrong with that?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I never said not to cater to your man. I feel like you should.
But you should. Because I'm asking what's wrong with it, because it seems like you're having a hard time wrapping your head around it, because
the fact that,
and then she didn't see the reciprocation, so it made her feel a certain way.
Right, so it made me feel a certain way, because why? I lived it. I lived that life.
Yeah.
Scraping
so you're triggered.
It triggered something, because where's the reciprocation? Because I didn't get it. So that's why I was looking for that. I was waiting for the man to say, you know, she does all of this and I really love her. I really appreciate her for doing this. And this is what I do for her. But never once did it say that. He never said that. It was never insinuated. And boom, it was just like, oh my goodness.
I got a question. Or I guess it's more like a statement, right? So when I look at, right, so we often talk about reciprocity. You know, we often do things. So I got this question. So generally, me, if I do something for a person, I'm generally doing it from my heart. I don't do things because I'm expecting something. So I think that, and I believe personally, and I could be wrong, but this is my own personal belief. I believe that a lot of time, I believe that most of us have love screwed up, because I believe we love for a reason. We love to get something out of it, and that's the wrong reason. Love, because love is genuinely just love. So it's not to get anything. So I think that that's kind of where we dropped the ball. Where we certainly even. So I'm tying at the gender roles to say this: as a man, I'm supposed to protect my family and teach the best that I can and be the best example as I can. Not because I want someone to come say, "Hey, you're doing a good job," but because that's my role, my job as a man. At the same time, a woman is so like naturally, a man is a protector, leader. Women are more nurturing. So as the nurturer of the family, it's a little bit certain things that as the woman you're supposed to do just naturally that you're going to be more naturally inclined to do than a man is. So I think that we've gotten so wrapped up in the fact that, oh, well, this is your role as a man and that's your role as a woman, that we have kind of gotten away from natural selection. I'm naturally my natural response, if something happened, like if I'm out with, or even if I'm at the house with my family or with some people, my first response, if I hear a loud noise or something happen, is I jump, I'm responding to that. My natural right off back. Everybody watch out. That's my natural response. Now, I've seen a lot of dudes that they don't respond that way. You know, what is that?
Damn right.
You know what I mean? A lot of times when something happens, a woman's natural response, the first thing clicks in her mind, she's not thinking, oh, is he good? The woman's natural response, oh my God, the kids, right? Let me get the kids. Let me get them together. Naturally, instinct. It's not programmable. It's not that this is what your natural instinct. So if we want to talk about roles, we also have to look at the natural aspects and the way we're naturally wired. Yeah. So when it comes down to a man being a man is naturally supposed to protect. A man is naturally designed and built to lead. So when I'm in my natural habitat per se, why am I met with so much opposition? Because when you're nurturing the kids, I'm never gonna come against that. And why are you nurturing them? You know, why are you being the mama? I'm not gonna question that. So I think that that's kind of in these day and ages somewhat where we kind of get it mixed up, because a lot of time a man is questioned as far as how he's leading. Now I will say a lot of men ain't leading right. Right. But, you know, but a mother oftentimes is not, man, and that's reality. I'm a man and I'll say it. You know, I've even led wrong because I was led wrong. But when I figured it out and I learned and I got it right, you know, then I corrected that. But a lot of mothers aren't questioned by men, or they get one of these things. A man may see something that he may, hey, you know, won't you try? Look, them is my kids. You can't tell me. Okay. Much mine as much as they are yours. So if we both have an equal role, then we have an equal role in that life. And if there's something not correct, then why am I wrong for saying something about that?
That goes back to the dynamic, like to that conversation that a lot of people don't want to have.
Yeah.
Those conversations, and that's where communication is important, to have those conversations. Because where if, as you stated, a woman is more nurturing and she's nurturing the children, and that's not your lane, and then you jumping in trying to tell her what to do or what not to do as far as nurturing, okay, you've kind of like came in her lane if you're not a normal nurturer, because you said this normally the woman's job. So are you not nurturing?
No, I didn't say normally. I said naturally. It's a natural instinct. I didn't say a man ain't supposed to do it.
Okay.
Is it natural or is it conditioning?
Yeah, because that's something that dance.
Yeah, I see it right there. I think this is me again. My opinion. I think it's natural. It should be in my perspective. For me, it's natural. I'm just naturally protected. So if something happened, I'm gonna make sure the kids are good because of things that I've been through. So that, you know, as far as me being very overprotective of children, that is a traumatic experience because of certain things that I've been through as a child. I have a natural, really overprotective mode when it comes to kids. But as far as just a man, and I'm with my woman or with my friends or with, you know, whoever, I'm naturally off top. When something happens, I'm first responder. That's just me. So I'm naturally protective. I'm going to respond. I'm going to react to that because my job is, even at the sacrifice of myself, trying to make sure everybody else good.
Because I'm thinking about it with that statement. If we're going to talk about it like that, are we going to look at also like the wildlife and how their roles are set up too? Like, say, let's look at the lions. Let's look at the lions and lionesses. Know what I mean? What does a lion do? The lion protects.
Knock him up. He knock him up and he protect.
And yeah, but the lionesses, they go out and hunt. They do all that stuff.
Right.
They nurture, they hunt, they bring back the food in, and they make sure he eats.
Right.
So is that, and then it kind of relates to that. Is that natural for us, or have we been conditioned to think that?
Even if you watch a lot of stuff in the wild, you look at a lot of animals in the wild. Honestly, the man comes in, does what he do. Even with gorillas, the man, you got an alpha male in a lot of scenarios. Even with wolves, you got the alpha male. So a lot of things, and then there's some things like with bees where there's a queen. With ants, there's a queen, and then everybody gravitates toward her and they work around her. So I guess it's one of them things. It's just what's naturally programmed in us. Where does that come from?
So then is it conditioning? Then? If it's programmed, then it's conditioned.
It's conditioned, it's taught. I mean, I was raised by my grandparents. So I was raised with a man and a woman in the house. And so, I had two sisters. So I was the oldest. And so my grandfather would always tell me, you got to protect them. You got to do this, do that. He would tell me, to be the fighter, be the this and be the that, because we had no brothers. So I was conditioned to be the nurturer. Because why? Because I was the oldest one. So I was always the protector, the one that says it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. It's this, that, I was conditioned to be that way. I was, it was put in my head. It was instilled in my brain to be that way. So I think it's something that is learned. It's something that is taught, as growing up, we were, growing up, we were taught to respect our elders, right? We were taught to say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. We were taught all of that. Nowadays, the kids, they have no respect. When they see somebody, an older person, they don't care. They don't look at that person as, oh, that's my elder. Let me open the door for her and be mindful of her and, be respectful of her. They will say whatever in front of that person. They will do whatever. It's all about how they're being taught. So if they're not being taught any of those things, how can we learn? Like, if a woman has not been taught to cook, to clean, to this, how can she get into a relationship or a marriage and not be able to cook or clean or whatever there is to do in the household? She hadn't been taught. It's always been somebody else's role, so I don't, that's a big thing. I think it's a learned thing. I think it's it's a teaching thing. It has to be instilled in you and taught to you, so that's what I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think everything is natural. Some things just aren't natural, and I say that in the aspect even as parenting. Some women just
ain't got it.
They don't got it. Right? So I'm not gonna tell you that it's natural, because some women get the baby and the baby come out, you like, hell no, I don't want that. Like, think of some of the things that's happened that allegedly women have done, drowning their kids and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's an issue though. That's more of a mental issue though. That's not necessarily natural.
Everything's not always mental. Like I said, sometimes you just don't have that natural connection. That connection just isn't natural. It's not always mental. Now, when you go
just a fucked up person.
Lengths, yeah, okay, that I'll count that as mental. But personally, just being a baby, just having that connection, you connect with that baby while that baby is inside of you. The kicking, the moving, everything else that you do, you're connecting with that baby. That's supposed to be the natural. Some people just ain't got that. So I don't feel like it's natural.
But that's not the norm though. See, so that would be one of them things to me that's kind of abnormal.
Right. It's a one-off. It's a one-off.
Right.
But
so I'm gonna get messy.
It's also happening a lot more though. So is it really? Because it's happening a lot more. There's a lot of women that getting their kids taken away because they're not taking care of them. I don't feel that I don't feel like it's natural. A lot of it's conditioned because if they raised in a household where their mother was not taking care of them, how do you know how to be a mother if your mother didn't do the motherly things for you?
That's just, you know what? That's just like a research project. I can't think of what it is. You got the two kids that were raised in the same household, abusive, alcoholic household. One of them ends up being an alcoholic, and the other one ends up being a Rhodes Scholar. They was raised the exact same way. The exact same way. Got beat every time the dad got drunk. Watched the mom get beat, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So with that example, I think it's just more of a choice. Motherfuckers make that choice, make that decision to either be what they know or try to be different. That's just me. But I'm finna get messy real quick. So do any of you think that the LGBTQAI community impacted the gender roles? And if so, how?
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
No, I don't.
You don't?
How come?
Because they do them. They do what works for them. They operate how they see fit. Whatever, if they are taking the man role, the woman role, they operate off of how they feel. And I'm kind of glad that you're in those comments right now, Dansby. So first off, going back to the comments, Dansby said, stop blaming women. Both parties should set the tone in the relationship. If she is not willing to part with tradition, then you should find someone who will, regardless of what people say. She also mentioned, of course, we were saying earlier that that's not natural, that's conditioning. She says, I think we may have opened your eyes to something that you already was thinking or feeling. I don't know what that was related to because it was just posted. But I'm sure that was probably to your comment because that's about the time that popped up. So, Dansby, if you can you put some input on that for us, please? But I personally don't think so. I have.
All right. Anybody else?
Female friends that are gay and they just operate.
I don't think so because even you know, the woman when she becomes, you know, the male per se, she becomes that person that feels like she has to take care of her mate. So I don't think, I don't.
Duriel, Dansby said, can you repeat the question?
Oh shit! I was trying to type and tell you to post it in the damn thing because I don't. What I said? Oh, I said, do any of us feel that the LGBTQ AI community has impacted or changed gender roles? And it's interesting that she said what she said because I think I'm thinking about it, and that's what made me think about it is that they define their own roles by whatever they want to do. Like, if you're the man in the relationship and you are a better caregiver as far as like parenting, then that's what you do. If you're the provider, then that's what you do.
Right.
If you're the woman in a relationship and you provider, that's what you do. It's no, this is exactly what a man's supposed to do. This is exactly what a woman's supposed to do. And I think that will work for a lot of people who are confident in themselves when it comes to dealing with like their inner selves and understanding dynamics of relationships, as far as how to make a relationship grow. If you want to go traditional, like somebody said earlier, find somebody who's traditional. The man has to do this, the man has to do that, blah, 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 blah. But you got to understand the consequences and repercussions of that tradition. And the same thing goes for the woman the independent woman who's making all the money and all this stuff. That there's consequences and repercussions to that, because yes, you're making six figures. There's no guarantee you're gonna find somebody who's making that. Then there's no guarantee that you're gonna find somebody who understands your hustle. And the flip side of that, you may be in a situation where somebody looking at you, oh, you're only making minimum wage, but they're not understanding that that's just a temporary thing for you to springboard to something else.
Right.
So I guess not like, and then for me, it got, like, this conversation got me thinking, like, because I was like that for a while, and I was like, wow, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't understand why when I was like, okay, this is what I dream, this is my thoughts, blah blah blah. I can never be lined up with somebody in that. And then when I had somebody who had the potential and had somebody who was making more than me, it became a issue, and it made it hard for us to see eye to eye, because they felt like they were the primary breadwinner and all this other stuff. And I'm sitting there like, what? No, that's not how I operate. I appreciate what you're saying, but no, that's not how I operate. Well, now as I gotten older and more mature, and I try to pass that on to my children, whether it's by blood or not, I try to pass it on. Like, it's all about what you're comfortable with and how you want to define yourself. If they make more money than you and taking care of you, then you need to pick up the slack on the shit that they can't do. That's how it is. Right. That's how I look at it.
Right. So for me, for me, I'm just, like I said, I'm just a natural nurturer. So, I related to that video that I talked about earlier, because it was something that I did. I did those things for my man. I did them. I don't know if T remembered how they used to tease me, because I used to talk about it, and they used to tease me about it at work. But I did it. I didn't care, because why? It was something that I wanted to do. So, not looking for somebody, not looking for him to reciprocate those things, but I did it because I wanted to do it, and that's what I felt like that's what I can bring to this relationship. I cook. I love to cook. I do that. I bring that. I hate doing laundry.
So man, laundry is the devil.
So, and that's why I feel like, this day and age, there's so much things to do in the household, and especially if you have kids to add on to that. I feel like as partners in marriage and I feel like you have to talk about those things ahead of time. Like, hey, what we gonna do? If we have kids, we're gonna put them in daycare, or what we gonna do? Are you willing to stay at home? If I'm the breadwinner, if I make the most money, are you willing to stay home? Could we do it? Can we? I feel like there needs to be a conversation.
Yes.
But
ahead of time. That way, you won't get into the marriage, and then all these issues pop up, and then the next thing you know, divorce. And I feel like, because nobody's communicating, nobody's talking, so that I feel like that's why I feel like it needs to be a conversation had before, on how you feel. Like, if that woman don't want kids, she needs to let that man know, hey, I love you, but I just don't want kids. Because that man may want kids. And then he won't say anything and not say anything, and then they get into the marriage, and he's like, why aren't you pregnant now? Why aren't you getting pregnant? Hey, and then she'll say, well, I don't want kids. Wait a minute, you don't want kids?
Yeah.
So you still stuck then, Yeah. So it's a conversation. That's why I feel like a conversation needs to be had.
Yes.
With both parties.
Point blank. Yep, I agree. And a comment that Mano said earlier, about the way that he loves with not expecting nothing back.
Right.
I found that interesting as a comment, because when you go into these relationships, marriage, whatever, you hear about what a person does. Yes, you can do it out of love. That could be your natural thing. But people still want to be appreciated.
Right. Definitely.
So as me doing that, granted, I could be doing it from my heart, but there's nothing wrong with somebody saying, thank you. I appreciate you. You go on your job and you have a list of expectations that you're supposed to do. That's your job. But there's nothing wrong with somebody saying thank you and I appreciate you, or job well done, or great. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to finish this. I wouldn't have been able to do this. This didn't get done. It's something different about appreciation, and it's something different about somebody having your back, because we're still human.
Right.
It could be one of them days where, damn it, you done forgot to pack your lunch, and wifey, your boo could be like, babe, I got you. I already packed it. It's in the refrigerator. Bam. It's from in here and from knowing, but you still want to be appreciated, no matter if you're a man or a woman. Yes, we got those natural things that we do as who we are, but there's still nothing wrong with feeling appreciated at the same time. Just a simple thank you, definitely. A hug, whatever. Hey, baby, go get that massage. It goes a long way. That's like that extra fuel that keeps you going, because then you know, okay, I'm on this right track. This is where the lane I need to be to keep going. This is that, that's that keeps that oil machine going. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's why I had such a problem with that video, because it was just like, she's doing all of this. What has the man said? Has he said? Not once did he say anything in this video. Not once. All he did to show his, I guess, appreciation, I don't know if that really was appreciation, was to pat her forehead.
Like a damn dog.
Like a dog.
So are you looking at that?
But without us knowing the dynamic of their relationship, we can't see. So for you, you didn't get no fulfillment.
Right.
But for her, we don't know the dynamic, because
right, we don't, and I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he doesn't appreciate her, but just on the outside looking in at that video, it was just like, oh my Lord.
And you're looking at it through your eyes.
Thank you, and I did. I looked at it through my eyes, because I know what I went through.
Right. Yeah, you know the outcome.
And I know, so that's why I was just like, oh. And I even commented on there, oh my God, I feel sorry for her, and what I did put that disclaimer first. Now, there's nothing wrong with catering to your man. I believe in that wholeheartedly, 100%. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that, nothing at all. But where is the reciprocity in that? Yeah. I didn't see it.
Let me get catered to. Let me get my fee.
I'm gonna say this.
I didn't. I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna say this, and this is part of the reason why, like we said earlier, why I stopped watching reality TV. Stuff like that is designed for a certain type of reaction. They're not targeting. They're trying to pick at the heartstrings of the individuals who went through stuff like that.
Yes.
They're trying to pick at the individuals who felt like they were taken advantage of. They were misused, abused, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's why they do that. And all it is, and the fucked up part about it, they really don't care about how you feel. All they worried about is views. The more views they get, the more they pluck at your heartstring, the more views they get, the more money they get in their pocket. Same thing with reality TV. Like I always use an example of Housewives of Atlanta. Because I tell people all the time, that is the most, and you can look it up, that is the most watched reality TV show in the world. But did you know,
I have one friend that talks about that show. They love it.
But it's like 10 of them though. It's 10 Real Housewives of. But you would never know that if you were just watching TV. It's 10 of them. They got Beverly Hills, Potomac, Orange County, somewhere in New Jersey.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. It's 10 of them. But because the way they have portrayed those highly educated, highly successful, highly everything people, they portray them as some ghetto ass people with money. So that's what people want to see. So when you see stuff like that, that's sometimes you have to pull yourself back and be like, yo, wait a minute. Like somebody said, you got to look at the whole life, not just that snapshot. And like you just admitted, you was looking at it through your eyes, what you went through, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. That's who they're I shouldn't say catering to. Yeah, targeting.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, just like that was, kind of a trigger for Nene.
Mm-hmm.
That happens with a lot of women. A lot of women, you wearing that hat, you working too, you still coming home trying to get the kids together, do homework, cook everything before he gets home, and you still after catering. Like I was in that same situation with Nene when we worked together. They teased us about the stuff that we did for the person we was in a relationship. For me, there are some things that are natural for me, and there are some things that was conditioned by me watching my dad. How my dad took care and run the household. He made sure everybody was good. So it was conditioned for me to cook, to clean, also stuff natural and taught, and to do those things. Now, was I getting it back? No, I wasn't. Granted, again, nothing wrong with saying, hey, I appreciate you, or hey, thank you for doing that for me, for hell, even switching the clothes if he's the one doing the laundry. Oh, he forgot to put them in the dryer. Simple things, because at the end of the day, too, it's about teamwork. If we work together, we can be in a better situation. No matter, hey, goddamn it, if I'm sick, I'm gonna expect your ass to get up and cook. I ain't expecting to get my sick ass up and cook. I'm gonna be looking for you to be like, hey, okay, I got you today, babe. Just take care of you. Let me do.
We're gonna eat pizza. We're gonna eat pizza.
I'm gonna get you some soup Bill Miller's.
That's what you gonna give us is pizza.
Yeah, you ain't know that.
So
pizza is a
well, I ain't gonna even ask that question. I was gonna ask that question and shoot myself in the foot, knowing I pretty much know the answer. Because you'd be fine if you were sick and somebody gave you pizza. You'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I said I was finna shoot myself in the foot and ass, but I know
you didn't know Greece, man. I'm telling you, Greece. Y'all listen to me. All this COVID-19 vaccine shit, eat you a greasy ass pizza, you'll be all right.
Just man.
Telling you.
I just about that COVID vaccine.
Listen to me now. I believe a real greasy pizza is probably the cure for cancer. They just don't want to tell you that shit.
How many greasy pieces you done had? You done had enough, you might be immune.
See?
He done had a lot.
See? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
One way or another.
But
you see what I'm saying?
Greasy burgers in addition.
Oh yeah, don't even talk about that. But nah, like I think like gender roles for us as African Americans, I'm gonna just say it. We weaponized it. That's what I'm gonna say. We weaponized it.
Yeah.
To use against each other. Oh, you're not a man if you don't do this. You're not a woman if you don't do this. No, man. It's we got to come back together and be a team.
Right.
Fuck all the dumb shit. I mean,
I concur with that. I concur with that because like how you just said, a lot of men, and I've seen this firsthand. A lot of dudes, are supposed to be men will try to pump their chest and I'm the man. You're supposed to treat me a certain way. And a lot of time people will question, well, what have you done to earn that? And that be the big thing, well, have you earned this certain treatment? And vice versa. As a woman, you're supposed to X, Y, and Z, right? But then you step out of that road. So I think that what has happened is just as the times have changed, we've got an old, I guess something that worked at a certain time frame and trying to make it applicable today. And when that need or that same thing isn't met, because if we be realistic, like back in the day, a man could work and a woman could stay at home and his income alone was enough to take care of the family.
Yeah, that's when cheeseburgers were like 25 cents.
Right. You see what I'm saying? But in these days, you got to figure gas, you know what I'm saying? Gas, 1 gallon of gas this day, back then, could buy a whole meal.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so when we be realistic, we don't look at, inflation and all those things. I mean, just the cost of living these days, it's not as feasible in this day and age for a 1-income household to be able to provide for an entire family, male or female.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying it's not possible, but just the general average, the general salary is not feasible for you to live as comfortable as we like to live and off one salary. So unfortunately, these days, it causes us as men to not feel as we were back then because we're not able to provide a certain lifestyle that we might have saw our grandddads did or our great grandfathers did. But at the same time, we don't have the mindset that they weren't paying. Life wasn't as expensive then as it is now. I guess is the best way to say it. And so what has happened is that grandma and them talk, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times we hear, don't depend on no man for nothing. Make sure you good. But then at the same time, daddy will teach, you don't get with that man, he can't take care of you. But at the same time, that was back in that time where 1 income was enough to take care of a family. These days, you're not, hell, to be honest, gas is a bill now. As expensive as gas is now a bill that you really have to set up for. Back then, you could put $5 in your car. I remember putting $10 in the car as a kid and getting change back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can go take $5 and get half a tank of gas back then. These days, you put $5, your car gonna burp.
Yeah.
So we don't look at realistically on either side of the gender line. The reality is, as a man, look, I can do the best I can. Granted, the wage I make, I make all right money. But given the economy of today, what I make today, I'd be in a whole nother tax bracket 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, to be real, 5 years ago. You see what I'm saying? But with inflation, so what has happened is that we as men don't feel like the men we used to be because our dollar don't stretch as much as it used to. I'm sorry, baby, but I kind of need a couple of your dollars. Now, I'm not going to come to you asking, hey, pay the mortgage, and I'm going to take care of life things. But unfortunately, in order for us to have the lifestyle we want, I'm going to need some assistance from you. But me as a man, though, I'm not the type of man that don't deal with children.
Ask for it.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm not going to come home and expect you to just always have cooked. You kept the house clean. You do all the disciplinary with the kids. You do the homework. I'm not that type of man. I'm actually more involved with the children. That's the type of man I am. I'm gonna come home and probably be the one that's in there getting on them. Hey, did y'all clean? Make sure y'all got their school stuff. I'm checking homework. I'm not that type of dude. I'm the handyman dude. See, I'll be sitting, man. When you said shit, you put me in the house, man. Anything in that motherfucking house, I got you. Oh, baby, I need some new cabinets. All right, let me get my drill. I'll be in there with my little handyman belt on. Click. Yeah.
You fixing the doorknob and then you turn it and come off in your hand.
Oh, girl, stop. Everything in the house I got. Everything in the house I had, I did. Nobody, no handyman. And folks be asking me, talking about, who did your work? Me. Nah, for real, who did it? Me. And I show them how I did it. I taught my son how to install a ceiling fan, how to do the change the fuse on the fuse box, all that stuff.
Yeah, I do all that.
That stuff, I got you. Shit, yeah. Something wrong with your car?
Water heaters, all that. I do all that.
Hey, bring. Hey, like old boy with a cigarette on the lip. Hey, bring that thing right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and take care of it. That'd be me.
DW. I don't know if you paying attention to the comments.
What happened?
My reach outs for next week for the men's forum is successful. You get Rodney next week.
Oh, it's about to go down. Son.
Hey, appreciate you, Rodney. Yeah, he said I'm speaking facts. Amen.
So yeah. And it's crazy because how we set it up is right, because we're talking about this, and then next week, Friday, women get to ask any question they want to the men, and we're gonna openly and honestly answer any question. And the same thing gonna happen on Saturday.
Woo.
And can I make another statement? And I know I'm about to. So this is about to get me. I might get lynched after this one by the women, but it's realistic because I've spoken about the men. I've said, honestly speaking, there's a lot of men that ain't been men. and they expect somebody to follow them, but you have to lead and be leading the right way in order to have a following. But in order to follow, in order to lead, you got to be a good follower. At the same time, a lot of time these days, so our generation, right? Like, so the ladies that are on this panel, a lot of where we are and age-wise and up, it's a little different mindset because a lot of the other women that are after, the generation after us, not as so when we talk about gender roles, they don't even know, they don't have a clue.
Come on,
you know what I mean? Because if we be 100, these women are expected to be treated the way our grandmothers were treated, as far as in a good life. But they want to carry themselves like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B's, but then want to be treated like if they Oprah Winfrey or something. And so even then, it's like there's a double standard. You can't expect me to treat you this way, but this is what you presenting to me. And then be mad if I come to you, hey, what that thing do? Well, shit, you got half of it hanging out. So, I can see most of it. What it do? And then you expect me to still come and pull out your chair and open your door and do all of the things, the chivalry from the old days, but I'm getting a hoe from the modern day.
And then also, too, don't want to cook and don't want to clean.
That part.
Don't know how.
Right.
Don't know how. Don't want to learn how. Not trying to learn how. That's another thing.
But
so then where did the disconnect come from?
But there's a lane for that. And I'm finna keep it 120 for y'all.
All the way, keep it. Come on.
That Megan Thee Stallion, that whatever lifestyle, the thought and get your ass hanging out, there's a lane for that. There are men that like and marry that type of female. They don't even mind when they go out and her ass is hanging out. That's what they want. They're fine with that because that's what they like. Whereas most men, you have some men that don't want they wife goods or girlfriend goods hanging out. There's a lane for that chick that does and that dude that likes it. There's a lane for that. So there's a whole nother area where that actually fits, where that female can't cook and they eating out all the time. There's a lane for that.
But see, also too, I blame. This is where I blame on our society now. The way all the kids are coming up now, I blame reality TV for that because they see the flash, they see the jewelry and all of the things that kids, the 16-year-old kids getting Mercedes for their 16th birthdays. They see all of that and they expect that for themselves too.
And they got damn Power Wheel money.
Huh?
I said, how they expect that and they got Power Wheel money?
It's a lot of kids that think that. They think they're supposed to. It's a lot of kids that think they're supposed to have that. They may not understand, but they think because they saw a person on TV with it, they think they're supposed to have it.
Right.
And really seriously, let's be real. I don't only blame TV. There are some mothers that's just not mothers, and they're not teaching. So when you have mothers that are more in tune to the club or to social media and trying to live up to what they feel like is social standards they want to be the bad bitch. They want to make it look like they got all this, they floss and they blah, blah. There's a lane for that. At the same time, because they want to be in that lane and they want that attention, which is mostly negative, they're not teaching their daughters. So their daughters is sitting in the cut and they looking at what mama doing. Oh, well, mama got this dude coming in, or mama getting broke off by this dude. So that's what I need to do. They're not looking for the learn how to take care of myself, be able to cook, clean this and this and this, knowing those aspects because they're not being taught because mama too busy smoking weed somewhere, sitting in the cut, in the club, dropping and shaking, going to get the next outfit so she can look better than this chick from last week in the club. So those examples are not there.
That's where I was saying that they're not being taught now. They're not being taught to be the nurturer. They're not being taught to be the cook, the chef, the whatever. They're not being taught that anymore. It's all about go get your bag, honey. Get your bag and That's it. That's what they're being taught. I'm gonna go get my bag. When they see the dope deal on, he got money. He paying. So that's what they look at. They look at who's paying, who's paying the most. It's not about them trying to, it's just that's what they're looking at. And I look at it and I shake my head sometimes. I'm just like,
that goes back to what we said in the beginning. Like the women, the roles are set. The man is supposed to be the provider. So if they're looking at the one with all the money, the flash and shit, they're looking from the mindset of, okay, he can give me the life that I want to have, that I believe. Right.
And we did agree to that. We did say that could be could be 34 years ago, and that could be now.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that they're not doing anything different. They're just doing it in a different way.
Right.
Versus actually going out there and like sitting down and like, okay, what does Jimmy provide for me? They're looking at, I see the baby with XYZ, blah, 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 blah. He got that band. Let me go ahead. I got to compete with this bitch. So let me go ahead and let me show him how I could do this, this, and this.
But at the same time, that doesn't appeal to every woman. That flashy money, that doesn't appeal to every woman.
Then the goal, so then their role is different. Their thought process is different. They might look at, okay, can this guy support me mentally? Can this guy support me like this? Can he support me? Like, I don't want to get my hands dirty. I want somebody to keep, because I got a friend like that. I got my homeboy, his wife like that. She does not want to get her hand dirty for nothing. And he, like, anything around the house, he do. But she can cook her ass off. But outside of that, she's like, I'm not getting my hands dirty. And that's her thing, saying she's not gonna do the type of stuff like that.
What you mean, like, get her hands dirty? Like
working with your hands.
Cooking is working with your hands, though.
Right.
Okay.
That's why I asked what you mean, because you said she not
she can cook her ass off,
but she can cook her ass off.
She can cook her ass off, but she
but she don't clean. Is that what you mean?
No, she don't like doing it.
She don't
cook.
like.
It's a choice.
But she don't like washing the dishes afterwards.
No, she don't like cooking because she don't want to get her hands dirty. She can cook. Not saying that she can't. She has a capability, but that's the decision she made, that he handles that and she handles the money.
Roles reversed.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's how it is a lot these days too. Like,
it is.
A lot of times you do find it where the men a lot of times will go out and they work, and then I just give them my check.
Yeah.
Don't know what's getting spent. Don't know what's going on.
You don't know if the lights is getting paid. You know.
No, she's a monster when it comes to dealing with that stuff now.
Okay, so she's good with the finances.
Yeah, and like you said, they go back to being in your lane and having that conversation. Know where you're most beneficial.
Yeah, she can stretch.
I mean, granted, she don't like to cook, but if the finance thing is her thing and he okay with it, I mean, that's what works for him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what works for them. That's what works for them. So hey.
So really, gender roles really were kind of a form of power and control, and really it was kind of a form of abuse. If you generalize just gender roles, because I mean, basically it's going to be exclusive to every relationship, every dynamic of every encounter you have. So really, it was kind of a form of power and control, mass power and control. The man supposed to do this, the woman supposed to do that. The moment the man ain't doing this, he's not a man. So the women use it in that capacity, and the moment the woman ain't doing X, Y, and Z, then she ain't being a woman. The men use it in that capacity. So really, by both genders, it was power and control. It was a form of mental and emotional abuse, really, on both parties. Because if my strong areas are these, you telling me to be strong in something, I really don't know how to do that.
Exactly.
And so you're expecting me to be strong in an area that it's not that I can't, it's not that I'm not willing to, but even if I put forth my best effort, it's never good enough for whatever reason, but I excel in this area. So then let this be my lane and you take on that. And then it's areas where you can't handle, I got that. So really gender roles in a sense were basically a form of power and control.
But and see, here's the other side to that too. It goes back to also what I shouldn't say. What goes back to what taints it is folks don't know what they're good at and what they're not. Folks don't know their talent.
That's a true story. That's a true statement. I agree with that.
Time to know their talent, and I think that's where folks fuck up.
Yeah, I feel. Hey, I like that, Rodney. Never qualified or even taught to do.
Rodney said, expecting me to be an expert on a task I was never qualified to do.
Right. See, but a lot of that still comes with willingness, because like, okay, when I was never taught to be a father. I had an example, but at the same time, I had an example of a man, but it was a lot of stuff he did that I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. There's a lot of stuff where he dropped the ball, you know, in certain areas. I feel like me as a man, right? So as a kid, you know, we were raised, you don't talk about whatever mom and them say go, but what if the parents got it wrong? You know what I mean?
That's a whole other conversation. That's a whole nother
so like gender roles, you know, like one thing that I do as a parent or as a man is I'm not saying that you're gonna get to make every decision, but I'm at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and act like you're not a human being because you're only 11 years old. Now I'll hear you out. At the same time, as a parent, you should know your children enough. You should know the audience well enough to know what they play. So that's what I meant. Like when I was talking about earlier, like I had a scenario one time where the child was sitting there trying to eat, right? And suddenly in the middle of the meal, oh, I got to use the restroom. You've had all this time to go use the restroom, but you're trying to come into a certain area. Can I use this restroom? This is not the restroom you normally use. So what it was a moment of the mama didn't realize it, and so it kind of led to that. I'm like, she's using this as a power and control, like basically trying to manipulate the scenario and put one of us against each other because this is not normal behavior. How are you not able to see it? So it was one of them things where as a role, like I'm the outside, I'm an outside entity, but I can clearly see this. You're choosing to overlook or ignore it. So now I became the villain because I spoke on something that was blatant. And so we have these roles, and it's like, well, whose role is what? Because at the end of the day, what's best for the child should be the role of both parents. You know, us being a cohesive unit and understanding, communicating, comprehension, me trying to help you understand, you trying to understand, and vice versa. All of these are the roles of both genders. So if me as a man, I feel like it's my job to first off please me and make sure I'm good, but pleasing you and satisfying you, then that should be the same role you have. So as far as what exact job it is, whether it's taking the trash or doing dishes or cooking, all of that is kind of, you know, my role as a man is to bring everything that I can bring to the table and sit here. And your role as a woman is to bring everything that you can bring to the table that's beneficial for us to work and sit here. And we're supposed to take that and make that happen.
Hey, I
what about the men? Sorry, DW, go ahead.
No, I'm finna get messy real quick.
Me too.
All right.
So, is it in the role of the partner, male, female, whatever, to satisfy you sexually?
That's kind of
stuttering.
You know what? I believe that to an extent it is, and it ain't, because it depends on what you come with.
Speak on that more.
Well, because like okay, so if you've lived a fairly promiscuous life, you know, you've been around and you done had old girl that know how to pop, drop it, lock it, and do all of these things, and then you get a girl who's more reserved. If that's what does it for you, she'll never be able to tickle your fancy because she may not be enough. Because she's a little more wholesome. Now, there are certain things that she may be willing to do, you know, to help on that, but that all comes down to y'all. Because I feel like it's a freak in every woman to just take the right man to bring that out of her. So if you can't get that out of her, then you know that's kind of yeah. And as a man, as a man, I feel like my role with the woman I'm with, you fucking right, it's my job to make sure that you satisfy sexually. Unless you got some weird ass fetishes that I'm not with, then that's not on me. Yeah, nah, you tripping. But as far as being a man to make sure that you satisfy sexually, you damn right I'm supposed to do that. And I'm gonna ask questions and explore to try to find out what it takes to make you tick so I can make anywho. But yeah, I feel like as a man, that's my job. I can't speak for a woman because I'm a man, but I believe that a woman should want to be able to satisfy her man sexually.
So ladies, let's go. Let's get it.
You want me to go?
Oh, we get this laughs and eye bats.
Oh, Mr. Stuttering, I know you ain't talking.
Well, because I had to tone down. See, I'm trying to make sure I don't be politically incorrect and just fly off with regular Mano. You know, we still on I'm trying to be somewhat professional on this forum. You know what I mean? Because to the roof, Batman.
Go ahead, Nene.
Okay. I truly and I wholeheartedly agree with Mano 100%. A woman should want to be able to please her man, and I agree with that. She should be. My grandmother used to tell me all the time, you need to be, Chef Boyardee in the kitchen and that streetwalker in the bed. She used to say that all the time. If like Mano said, ask questions what your spouse likes, ask questions what your wife likes, ask questions so that, and if it's something outlandish, then we're not doing that. But, we'll find some alternatives. It's for me, I say, yes, I'm all out for pleasing my man, for pleasing him. Yes, I'm all out for it. And I'm willing to do what it takes. Because if I don't, he's going to go elsewhere. He's going to go find something that is appealing to him, that is willing to do, another thing, my grandma, what you won't do, another woman will. So, you have to be what you're, if you marry that man and you love him and you say you do, then you should be turned on with whatever he does. You should be turned on to him. You should be in tune to him, to his wants and his needs. That's how I feel about it. You should be in tune with everything. See why you laughing?
I'm laughing because
I feel you.
I'm looking at the comments because Nika is in the comments. She had to go do something right quick. So Nika said that booty stuff is the limit.
Right.
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no. That is a no-no for me too.
But what? So okay. So then you're not gonna. So if your man wants that, then you're not gonna.
She goes back to conversation.
Right. That's why I'm saying it goes back to that.
Those are important conversations because if you down with threesomes and you coming over here and asking me, you gonna get your feelings hurt. Ain't no threesome, ain't no poly, ain't no swinging from the chandelier because I'm over 200 pounds. The chandelier gonna fall on both our ass. So that's just not gonna happen.
You want a threesome? What? You must be talking about me, you, and Jesus.
Hello, hallelujah. Because I don't share, so I don't do threesomes. What's mine is mine. I don't share my toys. That ain't what we doing. So that's off the table. Ain't no down the road. Let you think about it. It's answer final. Court dismissed. It ain't happening.
So what I'm getting is from everybody, it's a consensus that each person needs to understand and try to understand, communicate, and try to please your mate, regardless of what it is.
And I think it's both jobs. I think you should want to, you should want to please your mate. They should want to please you. But at the same time, Lord, have that conversation. But while you're in the dating and the relationship process, you should already know what the person you with like, and
but see, that's a different thing,
to where you can have that conversation. To where, like for instance, let's be real, there are a lot of men that health reasons happen, even women, health reasons happen, to where you may not be able to please your mate. Men don't like women having sex toys. A lot of men feel intimidated.
Why they don't? Oh, my bad.
Well,
So,
hold on, wait.
That's the day and time that we live in. A lot of men do want a woman to have their sex toys.
It's a lot of men because I just had this conversation with some people.
I'm gonna tell you. Here's where the problem comes in. Have y'all been to a sex store lately? Right? Everybody been to a sex store. Yeah. Have y'all seen some of the sex toys?
Yeah.
That they got. So if a woman pulls out a 15-inch dildo that's like 5 inches around, what the fuck?
I don't got nothing for you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's where you talking about men don't like it. That's where the issue comes from.
Well, see, that right there is like, hold on, wait. So what is you really into? Like, see, so
exactly.
That's like, God, you want horses? I'm not into bestiality. That's just not my thing.
Exactly. That's where the man,
like, you know, I'm good, but damn, that's.
But and let's back up, because like I said, this was a hot conversation this week that I had this with different females when it came down to they dude. So it's a situation to where, okay, they ain't been nothing shaking in the bedroom. And she's explained, she was like, I need that. Like, I need you. I need that connection. I need this. Even down to wanting a hug. And that seemed like that was mission impossible. But she has what she got. But he's already put that down that it's a no-go. He don't want her using toys. But if you're not doing anything and you don't want me to have my toys, but you're not even trying to give me a hug or a piece of affection, but you're intimidated by the toys because you're saying that should nothing else be able to please you but me, but you're not giving that.
I'm gonna talk because I had a homeboy like that, and I'm gonna tell you, and his rationale was, and it makes sense to an extent. His rationale behind that was he was concerned about who she was imagining doing that stuff with. And I was like, it makes sense to an extent.
No, it don't.
Yeah, it makes sense. So let me ask you that. Let me ask you this. So if your boyfriend is masturbating to, say, one of your coworkers, the thought of one of your coworkers,
would that bother you? Whole ass problem.
So that's the same thing.
Go that way, but see, but this is the thing.
But that's what I'm saying.
He was specific. He said a coworker.
He was
so if it's a porn star, what if it's a porn star?
Okay, but that's the thing. You said a person. You said originally that he was worried if she was doing it to somebody else and thinking of somebody.
Yes, that's the same thing.
But if you don't, I said you was stressed specific. You said her co-worker.
Well, he gave a scenario. He gave a person to make it more tangible.
Is a totally different thing. You said you named a specific person. You said a coworker versus somebody else. His fear was her doing it to somebody else. When you go to specifics and actually say coworker, her homegirl, her, that changes the whole dynamic, right? Because it's already like you got eyes and you've been eyeing and you have an attraction to that person versus saying someone.
It's like a coworker is somebody that he's probably hung out with his wife, you know, so that's somebody reachable that he could probably get in that person's ear and probably make conversation and get her to do whatever he want her to do, you know. But if we're just watching porn, that's just porn, you know. It's not somebody that's attainable at that moment, it's just something that we're watching. But so a coworker, a person specific that's in your circle, that's off limits. It's like no, because that's that gets
Thank you. Somebody just said a co-worker is very different than an unattainable porn star.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
What you mean? I don't have porn stars. They not on. But anyway, so let me ask you this: would you get mad if he did that like on top of you? Imagine somebody else.
Yeah, because why are you?
Well, how would you even know?
Is it okay? Is it?
How would you even know that that's what he's doing if he doesn't tell you? He has to tell you, right?
I'm just curious.
He has to say,
I'm thinking
I'm closing my eyes and I'm imagining you're such and such.
He might mess around and come and call her name.
And he gonna get elbowed in his mother.
That's what I'm saying. So he has to be, it has to be voiced first for us to know. We don't know that's who he's imagining.
Yeah,
but unless he voices it, that's when I would have an issue.
You don't know.
That's when I would have a problem with it.
So back to the toys then.
Okay, pause. Hold on. Read that. You see what Rodney wrote in there? He said, let's keep it 100. If my wife is thinking about her coworker, we have an issue. Right. Now, if she's thinking about Michael B. Jordan, I know she would never run into him, so it's not an issue for me.
You don't know that?
That's true. You know,
that's true.
Be in random places, but it's the point of it being unattainable versus being attainable. My coworker, if we go into company parties, you
think about that.
Birthday dinners, come on.
I like the way she eating that hot dog. Ooh wee.
Man, go ahead.
May I say something, though? I think y'all kind of took the gist of what he was saying wrong. I don't think he literally meant a coworker. I think he used coworker as an example just to illustrate his point. What he was trying to say was that his friend's whole issue was basically, look, the reason I don't want that is because regardless of who else you imagining, you shouldn't be imagining nobody else pleasuring you in that way outside of me. Am I right, D-Dub?
Yeah, that's all I was trying to say.
So when he said, okay, if it was your coworker, he used that to make it more real, so that I think y'all can understand it. I mean, y'all.
Yeah. So we use that to make our point as well.
Yeah. So I don't think it was specifically the coworker. It was just the issue of imagining any other person sexually.
Situation to explain the situation and to make our point.
Okay. And so, I like this because now this really ties into gender roles. Let's go.
Same thing.
Let's get it. Yeah.
Really? Yeah, DW do need help, Rodney. He do. We pray weekly on that.
Hey, but for real though. But for real though. So stuff like that. So I'm trying to understand.
You thinking hard, and it's not complicated. It's really not complicated.
Well, I know that's what I'm glad you said it because I was about to say that.
It's not. A woman would prefer her mate. Period. Point blank. Versus a toy. A toy can't be the touch, the intimacy of that. You can't get that from a toy. We would prefer.
What's on your mind? Sex is on your mind.
No, all you can get from a toy is satisfaction. You can't get the intimacy. You can't get the cuddling afterwards. You can't get any of that. The kisses, it's just a toy. It is what it is. It's a toy meant to pleasure, and that's it. You can't get anything else.
Okay, got you. So check this out then. Whose role is it to initiate?
It's both roles. But let me take that back. Let me take that back. So I'm gonna take that back because I said I know what I just said, but this is that another area where you need to know your audience. You need to know who you're in a relationship with because you may be with somebody that's not an initiator.
But what if you like people to be aggressive?
Then you need to make sure you have somebody that's aggressive because it can be some people that's not aggressive. So ain't nobody gonna slap you, Daryl, like you want to be slapped and beat.
Like that caveman, come in, hey girl.
Exactly. I mean, she might come up and she might hit you like this, like she might just. And that might not be enough for you because you're a big dude. You might need a brick to be like that. So, I mean.
I want a girl come in there and slap me on my ass.
You want to come what?
I want a girl come in there and slap me on my ass. Hey, boy. All right. You better stall.
I admit I will initiate. I don't wait for the man to initiate. I mean, he may initiate too, but I'm an initiator too. You know, noontime. No, I'm not. It's hey.
Like, let's go get that whipped cream. It's going down tonight.
It's going down.
I think it should be both. I don't think nobody wants to feel like they got to do all of the work to get their person into it, because then at some point you'll feel like, well, damn, are you even into me?
And it's not that.
I'm doing all the initiating. What? You not into me? What? Do I not?
Sometimes people just aren't initiators. Now, once that flip is switched, she might be a whole ass freak. She just may not be an initiator. He may not be an initiator.
But I feel like if you guys are in tune with each other, and you guys you're in love, you're this, you're that, you're everything, you're vibing, you're in tune with each other. Both people should be. You shouldn't have to warm up a car to get the engine started. You can't. You should. You guys should be into each other. It should be both ways. It shouldn't have to be always waiting for the man to initiate something, or the man he may not be, but he always waiting for the woman to initiate. No, sometimes I want the man to initiate, because that lets me know, hey, he's into me. He really wants me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. And then and then think about it. There are some instances where people may not be confident in themselves. I think by the time y'all get to that place, though, that y'all should be comfortable enough with each other. But I think it probably, it may be a issue of confidence as to where, well, I'm not really confident enough to try to take it to that place. But me as a man, shit, I love to walk in and you, all right, well, yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
So
I mean, I have no problem, going
Alex, the man said, it's so sad that people are sitting there wanting that thing and never say it. Just say it, and if they say no, then rub it out and go to sleep.
Yeah, what it is.
And that's where the toys come in. Hello.
So it's interesting.
I've been in a situation where I've been in a relationship where he was like anti-toys, and I was looking at my box like.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
But can I ask this? Put it under the bed.
Is that considered cheating?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
She took him out.
So you're saying self-pleasuring is considered cheating?
Well, no, not self-pleasuring, but the toys.
It's self-pleasuring. You still pleasuring
but
yourself.
Okay, but see, so
let me give you an example. Why I say it's cheating.
Okay.
You got an algebra test, and the teacher say no calculators. You put out a calculator. Is that cheating?
Dude, she said no calculator.
That's what he said. He don't like toys, but you still gonna pull out your toys. That's cheating.
Okay, so if it's no toys. Okay, so if it's no toys, so then it's self-pleasure, and if it's no toys included, is that cheating? So you wake up in the morning, your significant other ain't with the extra, so you in the shower and you didn't woke up mighty strong and she sleep. So you gonna rub one out in the shower and just not gonna say nothing because it could be cheating? You a lie. You a whole ass lie on that.
Wait, say that again. Say that again. I'm trying. So if no toys, now he didn't say you couldn't use your hands, so he's saying no toys.
But that's what I'm asking. So if your significant other is not into the extra, the no pleasuring, no toys or whatever, and you wake up strong arm, so she sleep. So you gonna rub one out?
She waking up too? No.
Well, okay, and what if she's going to work already?
Hey, man, I'm gonna be like, hey, wake up, girl, wake up.
Yeah, I'm rolling over.
But what if she's going to work already? And you didn't
I'm rolling over like, hey, good morning. He gonna speak to you before I do.
DW. Nika Pink said, I hate Duriel.
I know she do. She always do. I keep it live. I told you on that live wire. Hey, but no,
and she said it is not cheating. That is not another human body present. That's not cheating.
She need to go to law school for real, because she be finding loopholes and all kinds of shit.
And Rocky said, which we love, Rocky. Rocky said self pleasure is for self. It's not cheating.
Yeah, that's why they call it self pleasure.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
It's not
I just want to ask because I feel like women have a certain, and I mean, I've seen that now. Men got them. I'm not into that shit, but I mean,
you're not into what? You're not
into some of the stuff that they got for men that they do.
Yeah, I mean, because women got a goddamn arsenal. I'm for real. Let's women got
so
shit.
Y'all have various types of toys that y'all can use. Y'all have some that will give penetration, which is what the man is supposed to be doing. So I could understand in a certain type of dude's eye why that would be considered cheating.
All kinds of shit.
It ain't.
I mean, that's your take. But you got okay, think about it. So a man pleasing himself ain't penetrating nobody or nothing else. Whereas a woman gonna pull out, you know what I'm saying, the Dickinator 7000,
right?
Okay.
Jackhammer.
Y'all can make y'all some shit out of a towel and a glove at the house. Y'all be watching the videos where they done created their little pocket coochie.
I'm not doing all that. If I'm using my hand, I ain't paying.
You talking about prison films? Y'all can make dildos out of pencils and rubbers. Don't get us started now.
A pencil, that's not even safe.
Talk about. Hey, look at the female jail.
That ain't even safe. A pencil.
Hey, they make it work. But anyway,
trying to get lead poison and trying to rub one out. Man, you don't get the man. Say no.
But nah, this was my whole point at starting that conversation though.
Okay.
You see how
there goes Shanika. It's Fifi. Yeah. Y'all can make y'all some quick little Fifis.
What's a Fifi?
I don't know. That's some shit she made up.
No, it's not.
It's not.
She made up
Google Fifi.
Yes.
I'm about to do it right now.
Google Fifi.
Hey, you see me grabbing my phone.
Look, I just grabbed mine. Let me find out who is Fifi.
Fifi is real. Y'all be trying to play. As much crap
I'm dead ass don't know who Fifi is.
Oh yeah, y'all be trying to play straight crazy.
I don't be paying. We don't be paying attention to y'all.
We know that be the issue.
Oh wait, Fifi is a glove filled with warm water, cooked rice, or some kind of warm liquid, then configured in a way to use as a woman's. Man, I'm not going through all that.
What you get? Hey, man, what you get? Cause I got 6'9", Tekashi 6'9".
Oh, so I typed in Fifi and then a bunch of stuff popped up, and so I just hit Fifi meaning, and it says FedEx is a glove. Fifi is a glove filled with warm water, cooked rice, or some kind of warm liquid, then configured in a way to use as a woman's vagina. Oh, but then right here it says Fifi is a language spoken in parts of Cameroon.
So wait. So basically, you fucking mashed potatoes?
Yeah. Mashed potatoes, rice, warm water.
They gotta get it how they can get it. Some don't want to be bent over.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. Nika
Pink said, Fifi is prison slang term for an artificial vagina made from whatever materials are available.
See, I didn't find that on Google. How did you even?
It's F-I, not F-E-F.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Well, see, I spelled it the way she spelled it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But check this out. So the reason why I posed that question because if you notice, it was so easy for folks to switch roles in sexually when in that conversation, but when it comes to anything outside of the bedroom, it's fighting tooth and nail. Why can't it be the same way, like across the board?
Good one.
It's depending. I think it has to do a lot with comfort.
I set y'all motherfucking ass up. Booyah!
You ain't set nobody up.
Good one, D-Dub.
I think it comes down to comfort and where the relationship is. Some areas, in different areas, relationships are stronger. In other areas, relationships are weaker. It just depends. I think it also has to deal with foundation.
But again, it seems like it's so easy for us to switch gears sexually than it is for us to switch gears emotionally and connection.
I think sexually, we look at the benefit of it sexually, as that instant gratification. Whereas, oftentimes in other aspects, we're not as considerate of the other person as we are ourselves in that regard. And so, because this causes me discomfort or takes me out of my norm, I don't want to do that much work for them to make sure they're good in that area because I'm not going to be good. So the hell with it. But sexually, hey, I'm going to work this because I get some out of that. I'm going to get my rocks off. I'm going to get what I need from them in this aspect and vice versa. And in other areas, I think it's just a lack of really kind of, I guess a better term for a short explanation is kind of being self-centered. Like, I'm just not willing to put in all that work for that. Or again, lack of consideration. You're not thinking about the other person as much as you are when it comes to being sexually aroused because, they want things their way. I want it as easy as possible for me, even if it is harder on you in that regard.
But you notice how easy it is for us to sit there and tell our partner what we want sexually?
But is it really that easy though, or does it take some time to get comfortable?
You can meet somebody at a club that night.
With your mate, it's
right.
Because I don't think you come off the cuff talking about how you want to be pleased in the bedroom. I don't think a lot of women don't want to talk about sex in the very beginning of a relationship when they're just trying to get to know someone. Now. There are some women who do, but I know for me, I don't want to talk about sex. I don't want to talk about sex in trying to get to know somebody in the very beginning.
Right.
That because that just lets me know all that person is wanting is that they're not trying to get to know me. They're just wanting what they're trying to get to what they're trying to get to.
Right.
Yeah, you don't know that you like getting your wig pulled off.
God dang, don't do it. Tell you. Oh, Lord.
Snatch it off and then throw it back on her. Slap it with it.
Oh my God.
Take that bitch off and wave it over her. Slang it. Slang across the room.
This is why we haven't had an actual sex topic yet. That right there. Because I could this nut. He talking about snatching wigs off. I could see him putting the wig on and hitting it from the back or something.
Yeah.
I saw a video like that.
Yeah, we going in.
Oh my God. Okay, so jumping into some of the comments, Rocky said it's called fleshlights in the sex stores.
Fleshlight.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas gift.
Flashlight,
Y'all never seen that?
I don't know what it is.
It's called a fleshlight. It looks
I'm
like
Googling it right now. Don't even trip.
But it has the woman's, vagina. Okay. And when the man goes in, they say it feels like a woman's vagina inside. But it looks like a flashlight. You guys got to look it up. It's called fleshlight.
Yeah,
I'm Googling it.
See, that's the thing. Like, they're making it so hard. We got to hold the shit now. Because, like, when we bust a nut, we going to either catch a cramp, slaying that bitch across the room, something. See, y'all got shit where y'all catch a nut, y'all just drop it. Bloop. No.
This is for y'all. This
y'all get shit where you can mount that bitch to the wall. Y'all pass out, it's still stuck. We got shit. We got to do all this stuff and see, that ain't fair.
Woo! Oh Jesus! Oh my God! Rocky said, "Break out of your comfort zone, and you'll be surprised what you find you like." I ain't gonna even read what Mika said because she
Rockzilla's right.
She in these comments.
Oh yeah, I see her. Yeah, Nico.
Yeah. And then she said, people are sexually free, but when it comes to roles and feelings, we are sometimes selfish. So
that's crazy because I think sexually free is more dangerous than roles and feelings.
I think
because like your roles and feelings, you can cut off sex. You get something you can't get rid of. You fucked, literally. let's stop frowning, because let's be honest.
What you mean you get some you can't, like you get that grade A certified?
Nah, you talking about you end up leaving with something you didn't go with. And it's gonna stay with you.
AIDS.
Oh, that's why I was, okay, that's why I was asking for clarification. That's why I was
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are more talking about sexually free. Like, come on, bro. Like,
well, yeah, but I think she means more in the regard of like being more comfortable for talking about what they want to please them sexually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, man. I don't know what.
Yeah, but I mean, she could have meant another way. I don't know specifically, but I think
that's what I'm talking about. No, she said it is more dangerous, but they don't give a damn.
Yeah. People are more like, I guess because people are more just sexually like, hey man, look, this is what I'm about, and I guess they're more superficial, you know, because I mean that's pretty much the depth of it, you know. Okay, well, it's about the sex. If the sex is good, I'm staying, right? So once the sex ain't there no more, you know what I'm saying? Then what you got? Because we can't have a conversation, because I'm a sapiosexual, so we can't talk about nothing. Like, so we can't. It ain't gonna, you know, if you can't stimulate me mentally at all, then I mean, I can look at you and get turned on, but it's not gonna be the same as if we got a mental connection, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Chemistry.
You gotta have that. You gotta have. That's what. That just comes down to the. That's why I say if two people are mentally into each other and vibing, it shouldn't be no. Well, I'm gonna wait for him to stimulate me to come get me. You know, I'm gonna wait for him to initiate. You know, sex. No, if I'm into this person and I find this person sexy as hell or whatever, I want it. That's just how how it's supposed to be. If you're really into that person, you're gonna want it. You're gonna want it. And you know, I know some men may want it like all the time, 3 times, but there's women that are the same way.
Yeah.
I'm one of those, you know. So hey.
Ooh, and in the beginning.
So taking it back to what we were talking about, like so if it's like that too, what is the issue with the gender roles? Why is there such a
disconnect?
Yeah, because I feel women don't speak up because they feel like if they do, they're gonna lose the man. If they speak up and say, hey, you know, I'm tired, or I just don't feel like cooking today, or you know, there are some women that are so submissive that they feel like they're afraid to speak. They're afraid to speak their mind. They're afraid to say what is needed to be said, and so they're timid and they hold back, and then therefore they find themselves depressed, unhappy, you know, and then when I guess, you know, down the line, then they become resentful to the man. Then that's when they lose respect. And then that's where everything just stops, goes downhill. So that's why I feel like conversations are needed to be had from the very beginning, you know, and if a woman is afraid, you know, to speak, she should be able to speak her mind, not speak her mind, but she should be able to at least communicate to her mate how she's feeling at that moment in time and not get any backlash from it, you know. And you know, as the man, you should be able to understand, just like as a woman, we understand how you know, we should be able to understand how that man is feeling. If he's coming home, if he's tired and don't feel like taking out the trash, you know, we should be able to understand that, hey, he's tired. He just, you know, worked hard or whatever. He had a hard day, you know. Talk about it. Communicate to one another. How was your day? I had a bad day. So did I. You know, well, let's talk about it. That's how it should be. But I'm not saying that's how it goes, but that's how it should be. It should be some type of communication, not just one-sided, always listening to the person talk about their day, but then, you know, when you try to talk about yours, it becomes something else.
Right.
Yeah.
You're complaining, or you're, you know, no. It If I'm gonna listen to you, you gotta listen to me.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this, everybody real quick. Because I know we old heads, we don't went through some shit to get the knowledge that we got. So the young people, I sound old as hell when I say that, the young peoples, but the people behind us that are coming up, what would you guys say to help them understand and help them get better at identifying or understanding gender roles?
Okay, so are you basing this off of Rodney's question?
Oh, he said something? He
Okay,
said something about that?
He didn't post it twice on it, and I was gonna address it. So
oh shit, go ahead then.
He kind of, which of course he kind of asked to the women, but I guess technically it can go both ways. But he did address it to the women. He said to the women on the panel, what mentorship or guidance are you providing to young girls or women in today's society when it comes to womanhood and relationships? So Nene, I'll let you have that one.
For me, it just what I've been, making an issue with, don't be afraid to do those wifely duties, like what the old people used to say. Don't be afraid that that's gonna make you a weak woman because you listen. Let me just say this. Don't let another person outside your relationship tell you how to do your relationship. Don't let somebody that's single tell you how to handle your relationship, because they're single, and that means that they're single for a reason, because they're out there just doing whatever. You in a relationship, you need to handle it the best way you can. And I say prayer works, prayer helps, and also, just having good guidance. And for me, don't be afraid to want to do things for your man. Don't be afraid to voice your opinion when when you're tired, or whenever this and whenever that. You guys have to come together and be when you get married, you become one, not him and her. You become one. So you have to communicate. Communication is the key. Point blank. Communication is the key. You have to be willing to have the conversation. And if you're not willing, if one party is not willing to have the conversation, then y'all don't need to be together.
I agree. I agree with that. Far as that, Lord, I don't know why, but I get that everybody always want to talk to me. I'm that person that everybody is just drawn to want to have these questions. I'm like, oh.
They gravitate to.
Man, I'll be like, go away, leave me alone. So where this week I did get asked some questions as far as relationship. And yes, I am single, and I've been single for a while, and I got my reasons. Lord Jesus, I do.
You're single by choice.
Yeah, because it's either that or jail at this point. So I'm gonna pick the latter. But she was in a situation where, like I said, it came down to the toys. I can't tell her what to do. I can only give from my experience. What you do with it, how you handle it from there, is where you go with it. And I even told her, I was like, ask your mama. Well, everybody can't have them conversations with their mama.
Right.
So, she felt comfortable coming to ask me, and she was just like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, I just want a hug. I was like, I never seen somebody want a hug so bad in all the days of my life from their companion. Like, she's like, I just want a damn hug. Like, can I get a hug? And the depth of how it turned out for them to get a hug, and I was like, I had my own thoughts, but I kept them to myself. And then I heard this another person, she voiced her situation with her husband. I'm like, damn, y'all can't get no hugs. Like, damn, what's going on? So I will give my experience. I ain't gonna be like, girl, you go do this, go shake it, go do it. I'm like, okay, well, he's already kind of told you that, like, I'm trying to figure out. He told her she got too much time on her hands, and I'm like, yeah, he did, and I'm like, ooh, shit, like, my spidey senses is going on, but I ain't gonna tell her what I wanted to tell her. But I was like, yeah, she just, went on, gave more details about, when he had a hug. Basically, when she went to, like, I guess try to get her own hug, like lay next to him and get the hug. Like, I don't know if he had a prison moment because he was like he didn't tensed up, like somebody was gonna get him. And I was like, ooh, this is it's kind of bad. But I will go and give my experiences in situations. I ain't gonna tell them what they need to do. If they ask me, hey, how would you handle that? Well, me personally, I've been in that situation. I handled it this. But I mean, hey, y'all need to have that conversation. I'll be quick to tell you, communicate, because 9 out of 10, that's what's lacking. Is that tough conversation that people don't want to have. And like Nene said, a lot of times you don't want to rock the boat because you feel like if you ask that question or if you say something and voice something that you're going to lose that person. So you just kind of pacified and you tend to start letting stuff go because obviously it's an issue somewhere. You can't have that tough conversation, or there's some deep feelings where you may have tried to have that conversation and the reaction was bad. So now you're more hesitant about having that conversation. But a lot of times that conversation just needs to be had, and you just gonna have to suck it up and deal with how it goes. A lot of people just aren't ready to play Russian roulette and do it that way. So, like they said, experience is the best teacher. True enough, we do need a lot of mentors in different areas because sometimes you just don't know. And you don't want to go ask that bitter ass homegirl
right
that keep dating all the fuck boys certain questions because you're gonna get a totally different answer. Or that bitter chick that she like, well, I'm single, my booty cheated on me, so I'm gonna tell you some shit so you can be single with me. When you do reach out for that information from somebody, you need to make sure that they're not coming from a place of malice, that they're really coming from a good place to really give you that information. Because I mean, it can be a double-edged sword. You can get good stuff, and then you can get some shit that'll fuck your shit up just because somebody don't want you to be happy. It happens. So I do my part to be an open person and to speak honestly, whereas I would want somebody to do the same thing with me if I just can't figure it out. So I mean, mentoring, honestly, Rodney, a lot of these females, depending on how they were raised, you can't tell them that bread is bread and water is water. Because they got their mind set up. They done already been poured into in this negative way, and it's gonna take experience to make them see and look at things differently.
Right.
And maturity.
And that's just real.
Right. I mean, I had an ex co-worker.
You finna say who you talking about? Who I think you talking about?
No.
Okay.
No. This was recently. So I had an ex co-worker. Like I said, I'm 51. This ex co-worker was 24. And she was pretty much out there. It was like each week she had a different homeboy, she called him. Different homeboy. This is my best friend, my boy best friend. But then the next thing you know, they're sleeping together. And then everything's good for that week. And then the weekend comes, something happens. And so, me being the elder one in this scenario with her, I got tired of hearing about the rah-rah, what went down, what's going on, what's happening, you know. And so I stopped her mid sentence of her trying to tell me what went down with this guy, you know, because every week it was a different person. And so I said, can I just tell you this? And I'm coming to you as a friend. You know, put that disclaimer out there. Coming to you as a friend. Maybe you're sleeping with them too soon. You're giving out too much too soon. So therefore they have nothing else to look forward to. Like if they're just now meeting you and then you 2 days down the road, he pull up at your house and then y'all end up sleeping together. How is he going to want to do anything else for you when he done already got what he was looking for? He's not going to want anything else. So therefore, that's why y'all are fighting. That's why, because he's picking a fight so he can go away and move on to the next. And she was hot as hell with me for saying that. I didn't know what I was talking about. I was saying it, and I'm like, okay. I didn't go word for word with her. I just said, you know what? I'm not going to entertain, you doing whatever, saying whatever to me. I'm just going to hang up. But I was just trying to give her, some sound advice, but trying to hit on what I don't know who was asking about giving some advice to the young girls out here. They don't want it. Like T said, they don't want to hear it. She was not trying to hear me at all. She got fighting mad with me and was ready to fight. If I had been near her, she probably would have took a swing at me. So
well, it seems like no hoe wants to hear they're a hoe, but they'll talk about all the other hoes.
Boom! That's it. And I didn't even call her that. I just told her basically, I just said, hey, listen. I want to come to you as a friend, and I just feel like you're giving them too much too soon. I didn't call her a hoe. I just said you're giving them too much too soon. So therefore, they have nothing to look forward to. They have nothing to hang on to, all because they done already got everything. They done got the prize. They done already. They didn't eat. They reached in and just got and pulled out the Cracker Jack box. They just pulled it out right then and there. They didn't have to eat the Cracker Jacks one by one to get to the prize. They just reached their hand in it and got it because you gave it to them. You let them do that. Yeah. So therefore, they have nothing to look forward to. They have nothing to look forward to. So no, they don't want to take you out. No, they don't want to give you $10 if you need it. No, they don't, because they don't feel like they have to. Why? Because you done already gave them what they wanted. They don't have to work for anything.
Yeah,
that's true. And then some people honestly ain't really wanting to hear. A lot of time what happens these days too, though, is that people come with their sad stories, not really looking for advice or empowerment, but just basically they want to stay in that victim role. So that way they'll, they become feeling sorry for them. So then don't tell me nothing that's gonna make me better and have to actually work and deal with me. I don't want to hear that. I just want you to hear what I'm telling you, feel bad for me and make me, basically coddle me. Don't make me feel like I'm wrong, and don't force me to grow the hell up, even though I'm a grown up. Don't force me to grow up. Treat me like I'm still a little baby and coddle me and pat me on the back and tell me it's gonna be all right. But don't tell me I need to work on something. Don't tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
Yeah, and you're right. And when I had asked Nene if she was talking about somebody, we had this coworker.
Lord Jesus.
They're gonna beat y'all up if they watch this show. They're gonna come find both y'all.
I doubt it.
I'm gonna tell you right now what they don't want.
Don't. I doubt it.
And I'm gonna tell you back then what they didn't want.
Right.
All right.
So, but she was in a situation with a guy, her baby daddy, and he was treating her like crap. He was whooping her ass. She coming there black, and it's like she, like you said, man, she wanted to be a victim. Because when you getting your ass whooped every day, But you coming to us older people that you be making fun of for how we are in our relationships, but we ain't get our ass beat. And you want that, and we're trying to give you the feedback, the information, like you need to get out that situation. Like you coming in here looking like you didn't got beat by Tyson 3 times last night. You lost all 3 bouts. Like you need to get out the situation. But it was like she wanted to hear, she wanted that to hear it to get that, play that victim. But day after day, week after week, it was like she already knew before she got home that she was gonna get her ass kicked because it was something she didn't do. If she didn't take out chicken that morning, she already knew. She went home, she was gonna get her ass whooped. Like shit, we knew she was gonna get her ass whooped. But it was like, okay, so when you gonna get tired of being tired? But I think one of those situations with her, which I see this with a lot of females, she was not black. And a lot of women harp on, oh, I got a black man. Man, my boyfriend's black. My baby daddy's black. He black. And don't want to let it go because he black. Bitch, for real? But your eyes are black, but you ain't letting that go either. Like, I didn't get it. But she was just in that mode. It was like she wanted that pity and to cry on somebody's shoulder and pat on the back. It was going to be all right. But because it was like part of that reason of him being black, she didn't want to let it go.
Having to call security at work.
That part. Like, it got that bad. Like, he done rolled up to the job, knocking on the door, and we having to get security like,
damn.
But then guess where she ended up back at though? He living in her apartment. She getting assistance. He living in her spot. But she's scared to go home in your own spot. Like, but you still trying to hold on, but you went right back. I told Nene, I said, let me tell you this. I bet I won't tell a motherfucking ass goddamn thing else. You ain't finna have me wasting my breath and you still being stupid going back to the same situation. You're not even trying. Like,
and at some point we stopped listening.
Yeah.
No more.
We sitting up here, me and this nut. We sitting up at our desk and we done got our head.
Yeah, okay.
Right, so
put our earphones. We sure did. We sure did put those earphones in. Be like, we don't want to.
We like, we done. We good. So it's one of those things, and I'll reiterate to this as well. You can only tell somebody so much,
right?
And people are only gonna listen when they're ready to hear. It's one of those situations where, like I will continue to say, because it was so true for me. When my best friend told me, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're going to leave out of that situation. And some people just aren't at that point. And a lot of people have a threshold that is really, really high in dealing with nonsense, shenanigans, and bullshit. And sometimes that low self-esteem kick in where you just feel like you can't do no better.
Right. So real quick, Mano, what would you tell the young fellas out there about this subject?
To the young fellas, I would tell them don't allow material to determine the man you are. Because I mean, at any time, finances and things of that nature can change, any situation. So be a man, whether you have money or whether you don't. Now, obviously, money just happens to be the currency that provides exchange for things you need. So you definitely want to be a man who's out, able to provide for himself at a minimum, and then going to something with a woman and being able to, if the shit was the same, hopefully you can provide for y'all to be able to help you out. But don't allow basically somebody else's expectation of what a man is dictate or determine what you yourself should know a man is, and don't allow yourself to be comfortable with not trying to do better and not trying to progress.
Can you repeat that again? Can you repeat that?
Oh yeah. Don't allow yourself to get comfortable not trying to be better or progress, because what works today in 2021 may not work in 2025 or 2031. So you need to be always evolving because the time is always evolving. It's always moving forward. So the moment you become stagnant is the moment you fall behind. So I was just telling you, to go out there, be the best man you can. Treat a woman better than you would want your daughter treated, because you can't fail in that regard. Right. So if this is the expectation you have for your children, then as a man, you need to be that man that has to be what your daughter can accept. And for your sons, you need to be the example of what they need to be. But don't ever allow a woman to tell you you're less than because you don't meet a certain expectation that she has that may be unrealistic. Be confident in yourself and who you are and walk in your manhood.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah. So we got a comment. What does it say? Why must some men always talk and type male to please women? Stand up for your sons sometimes. Stand up for your sons sometimes. Not on this panel, but in general, dudes are always pandering to women. Again, not on this panel. That's an interesting statement. And that could go so many ways, because like my mindset and my thoughts and the stuff that I experienced, not when dudes did that, they were trying to make themselves feel better, or they was a mama's boy, or they were trying to get some pussy. So I don't. With that, I don't know why. I guess that's only. I can only say that's situational based, because I don't know. I really don't know why dudes do that. Yeah. So I wish I had an answer for you, Mr. Research, but those are my thoughts when it comes to when dudes do that. And it's just, you could say it's like the peacock, but the more you shine, the more you try to put everybody else down, the more you stand out to the women. So if you pander to the women, then he's doing it for a reason, whether it's pussy or prosperity or whatever. So I don't know. So that's a good question.
I really didn't understand when I was reading it, but I really couldn't understand what he was trying to say. I guess I missed it.
Yeah.
So to break it down, it's like from my understanding is like dudes are always sticking up for the woman versus sticking up for the man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I understand the whole part about protecting a woman, and I understand that. But if a woman is wrong, she's wrong. Period.
Right.
Regardless of the situation. So you should be able to protect and also provide her with the respect to be like, nah, baby, you wrong.
Right.
Period. Like, and it should be both ways. So for dudes to just always like bash dudes and then uplift women.
I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, for dudes to do that, like I said, it's either to make themselves look good or try to get some pussy, one or the other.
Yeah.
Either way it goes. That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, I feel you. That happens a lot, bro. Like really, like they'll talk down on another man. Mm-hmm. Oh man, yeah, he wrong. He sorry, man. I would never do you nothing like that if it was me. Yeah. I feel that pillow talking type stuff,
and then turn around and be just that.
Yeah, basically dry hating on the next man. In order to try to get in, I can't stand that. That's weak. But then even to touch on what you said as far as I have this saying, and it's not a bash the other person thing. It's not bash the opposite sex, but reality is reality. You hear a lot of women always talking about every man ain't shit, right? And so my thing, I say this often. Why is that every dude that you come in contact with ain't shit? So is it every dude, or does it come down to where it's something wrong that you maybe, whether you picking bad or what are you doing that makes all these dudes feel like it's okay to act this way towards you? Why is it every man you've been with ain't never been faithful? Why is it every man you've been with ain't never had no money or never? Why is every dude always the problem in your scenario? And me, I'm big on you're not looking at yourself honestly. It's no way you can be if every person in the entire world ain't shit when it come to you. It's probably an issue within you.
And I always say this, Mano, the common denominator in all those people
is you. Yeah.
The common denominator in all those men that ain't shit is you. So it's you that is allowing these people to behave this way with you. Because you're allowing them to. Putting up.
Ladies, y'all hear this?
Cut off game.
I'm not talking about the ones on the panel. I'm talking about everybody in radio land. Because I don't want, when I say the shit, I don't want to get cussed out. Oh, you ain't shit. Yeah. You know, I'm not saying it this time. So
no, some people need to have they cut off game. They cut off game need to be strong. Because I won't say women say every man. They just usually speak in general.
I wouldn't say every man.
If they just normally be like, men ain't shit. It's not if they don't. I don't hear every man, but sometimes and don't get me wrong. The dating market right now. You already know what I say, but sometimes when a female comes across this, because it is slim pickings, and some people just have that. I need a man. I don't care if he's a piece of man or whatever. They tend to deal with stuff that they know, even though the red flags is there. They tend to still deal with it because they just want a man.
Because they're settling. They're settling.
It is settling.
They're settling, and I say no to that. I say no to that.
Yeah, my cutoff game too strong. We ain't clicking it.
No, I say no to that.
So I keep hearing y'all saying about settling and cutoff game and all that stuff. Like, the topic that we're talking about is roles. Does that play into you settling and your cutoff game?
Yeah, because in whatever role, like when you're trying to get to know somebody, that's that part of having them conversations to see where you go, where I go, where's my strong area, blah, blah, blah. If you ain't got no damn strong area, then what we having this conversation? You ain't got nothing. Like, you just trying to get in where you can fit in just to have somebody. It's almost like the homosexual thing. Like, I ain't got no job, I ain't got no car, but I'm trying to get somewhere. And you seem like you got you cook, and I'm in need of a home cooked meal. Because I'm so hungry. I'm tired of McDonald's. It's like you trying to get in where you fit in. So at a point, you come to a point to where you're settling because you having these discussions, and in these discussions, you can't check now damn box because he ain't got for you to check a box with. Why are you going to continue the conversation? Why are you going to keep going on with the flow if he can't even get down to having a job or he ain't even taking care of his kids? You ain't taking care of your kids. You automatic block. I ain't gonna be able to entertain that. So it's like if you entertaining something and they can't even check your first couple of boxes just in the conversation, why are you gonna keep writing that out?
Entertaining that, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, sometimes loneliness make you entertain some things that you know you should cut the hell off.
If you think you're lonely now,
hey,
you better wait until tonight.
It happens. So I'm gonna hit these comments because I see Nika asked a question to me and Nini about if we provided an out or any information to help that coworker. Yes, ma'am.
And every time.
Each and every time. She had a couple of outs. She had her parents. She had her best friend. She had outs and she chose not to do it. We even had supervisor was talking to her, giving her information. Like HR to a point had came and talked to her and offered some things, and she just wasn't ready to make that move.
Yeah, she might have been a victim of what they call like that Stockholm syndrome, where she, like kidnapping return, where abusees return to the abuser. She might have been a victim of that.
It could be that, or it could be what she grew up with. Her dad would probably beating on my ass, and that's all she knows. So that's how she feel like she's loved. If he punched me in the face, he loved me.
I've been through that.
If he reacts this way, he loves me.
Right. I've been through that with a female. Back when I was younger.
You was abusing a female?
No, so she was going through a situation with her ex-husband used to whoop on her. And so when it came to me, she would get really like basically be waiting on what you want to hit me. It's like, nah. Like, why you you know, and one day we kind of had a big old powwow, and I'm like, man, look, bro, I'm not that. Well, at least I knew he loved me, and that's when I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I know now, you know.
Yeah, we good on that, no doubt.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you know, the younger generation now, they think it's cute.
Yes, that part. They do.
That's a sign. They think it's a sign of that person caring.
Getting beat up.
I wish a motherfucker.
I think it's cute.
My daughter better not come home and tell me no nigga done beat up her.
I'm saying,
you know what?
I'm telling you, just like I was talking about the young girl, that's the same young girl that was just, she thought it was cute that the dude threatened to choke her out, or that the dude threatened to come pull up at her house and beat her butt. Like she thought it was funny, and I found nothing funny about that. And that's why I stopped entertaining, like I said, the rah-rah. I got tired of the rah-rah. I didn't want to hear that no more.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
the woman in me, I was just like, excuse me, that's abuse, and he don't love you.
Grits.
Hello, hot grits. Somebody.
I got a question, y'all. Well, I'm sorry, DW, you had something you was gonna say first?
I was gonna say, I was sitting here thinking, like, how many bodies I would have if that ever is interesting.
But now I got a question. It's kind of about gender roles, I guess, but I guess just with the change of the times. So we talk about, like, so I'm looking at the comment, right? And it's talking about toxicity, like in toxic relationships. But I got this question. Well, I guess it's a thought, not really a question. But well, I guess kind of quick. But you know what was crazy? Like the way life was back in the day. Well, like how many relationships really were toxic, but we didn't know it or we couldn't see it?
A lot.
Because they lasted so well. So like if you think about it, it didn't matter how bad grandma and grandpa got into it the night before, or whatever. We didn't see it. They kept it out of our vision. But the next day, or when the bills came, grandpa was gonna make sure the bills were paid. Grandma was still gonna get up. She was gonna take care of the meal. You know, she was gonna still do what I think that's where a difference is that it's so much more exposed these days to where the roles that we feel, or I guess that we were taught or were impressed upon us, that we're supposed to fulfill, really, have been basically taken because you ain't doing this, I ain't about to do that. You don't deserve this, so I'm not gonna pay all the bills in here since you want X, Y, and Z. Then the hell with you. And then the women feel like, well, nigga, if you ain't gonna do da, then I ain't finna be cooking for who? Cause what? Cause I'm da. So I think that, you know, so much exposure and people being so involved with everything, it's a lack of basically, like back in the day, it was them. We in this relationship. We gonna either make it or we gonna break it. Now it's me and then it's you and then it's all your friends and me and
your mama and your cousin,
Nisha, and then your miserable cousin who can't stand me anyway because really she wanted to holler at me on the cool, but all them gonna do everything they can to be in between us, and every time we have a disagreement, they involved. Girl, I wouldn't do none of that. So now it's that fit in culture that has now caused so many men and women to not be or follow or I guess adhere to what would be considered the gender roles, because our peers are looking at us crazy, like, man, you doing all that for her? Or these girls are looking at, girl, ain't no way him. My man, he better take this cookie and keep it moving. He still better pay X, Y, and Z. Because a man who can't do nothing for me ain't got nothing for me. He ain't get nothing. So I think that our peers have also probably impacted the gender roles. You know what I mean? Like being more open, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you know, you kept more of your stuff, what went on, what was going wrong, you kept that more privately. Now everybody's so open with all of the negativity and the problems in relationships that
just because it was private don't mean it was right.
No, I'm not saying that. No, by no means. I'm not justifying or excusing none of the behaviors. I'm just simply, as I'm thinking and I'm pondering, I'm looking at the difference between then and now. Yeah. And one thing that I notice is a lot of times it'd be a lot more mild than where people are more vocal about the things that are going wrong in relationships these days. And so what happens is that, it's never no accountability most of the time, though you're getting, I wouldn't X, Y, and Z. It's never really the real adult conversation of, okay, well, what really went wrong? What led to this? You know what I mean?
What did you do? That's the question. That's accountability. They always say, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Versus why don't you say, what did you do?
Like, or what led to that? You get what I'm saying? Like it'll be the change in this person or the change in that's like, okay, well, what happened? What led to these changes? It's never that kind of conversation no more. So really, I guess then what probably has impacted the gender roles inside of a relationship are more likely the roles of other people outside of the relationship. Because now that influence is, well, girl, you crazy. If you go home and you cooking for him and you washing his clothes and he didn't pay this or he didn't take you to do that or he didn't do that, or bro, man, she don't want to get up and do X, Y, and Z, or she ain't X, Y, and Z. Bro, you tripping, man. I wouldn't pay all them bills for her. I put her out. You get what I'm saying? It's so much negative output from us about the relationship that the input we're receiving is just as negative and just as toxic. Because we're not talking about, well, I dropped the ball in this area. And so as opposed to having real men or real women that are of some type of substance that are standing in our corner and, that are really real friends that'll tell you, nigga, you fucked up. Excuse my language, but you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, you wrong. And you still better make sure you pay them bills. You still better X, Y, and Z and make sure you handle that. Or, girl, you better go home and cook that man something to eat. Go home to your husband or to your man because what you out here with us for? We out here, we ain't got nobody. We trying to get what you got. You see what I'm saying? We don't have that aspect.
Yeah. I got you. So we have
some people, I'm sorry, T. Some people are just haters by nature. They don't want to see you prosper. They don't want to see you progress. They don't want to see you with someone, especially if they don't have anybody. A lot of people don't want to see you in a relationship, doing well, doing good, communicating well, whatever. They don't want to see that. They may say that they're your friends, but they're really not. Because if they were true, they will tell you, hey, you're wrong. You can't keep agreeing with somebody that's wrong. That's wrong. Wrong is wrong. And right is right. So, if that person is wrong, like I was trying to give that advice to that young lady, she didn't want to hear it. And I was coming to her as a friend, trying to tell her, hey, look, you're out here giving up too much too soon.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't.
Yeah. You're right.
And that's why these things are happening.
Yeah, you're right. So we have definitely hit that 3-hour mark. I think DW jinxed us because he said it during the
I won the bet, goddammit. I told y'all.
And, we definitely went past the 3-hour mark. God dog it. Woo, we're gonna have
it's a hot topic. It's a conversation that needs to be had and like folks be ducking.
Yeah, well, we are, but we're gonna go ahead and hit these outros so we can go ahead and close out. So Mano, can we get the like easy church welcome, not the preacher version of your outro?
I just think I think this is a really great topic, honestly. Like D-Dub just said, definitely a conversation that needs to be had. I think that there's a lot that has been misunderstood, that has been misinterpreted, and expectations that have been misapplied and misappropriated. And so if we just go into relationships and situations honest, first off, accountable and realistic, and true to ourselves and what we are willing to bring to the table, what we can bring to the table, and what we're willing to accept or not accept from another party, then I think that a lot of this gender role stuff will kind of just work itself out, and we'll pretty much know what works for the dynamic of this relationship or whatnot.
That's what's up. Nene, that's your outro, ma'am?
Yeah, like I said, just communication. Don't be afraid to, speak out. Don't be afraid. That's basically what
Oh, stuff. Oh, Jesus, BW.
Why you gotta say all that? No, for me, it's like I said earlier, we have gotten into the mind frame, not even the mind frame. We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled into weaponizing the roles of relationships, but what a man's supposed to do and what a woman's supposed to do. And at the bottom line, if you look at your relationship as a business, I think you will be more successful than trying to look at identify roles and what he and her are supposed to do. If you look at it, take it from a business standpoint, you will have things and policies set up to be successful. And the last thing is the thing that hurts us the most is we stopped loving each other. Like, I'll just be honest, like love is like a four letter word that no one want to say. We could say fuck quick, but we won't say love. So we need to get back to dropping that L word, love, and not lick either, or like. And start loving each other for us, as a black man and black woman, because again, we always said we all we got. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I want to give a shout out to Quest Powell, the quarterback from Freedom High School. Now he attends North Carolina Central. That's what I'm representing today. It was founded North Carolina Central University. Let me put respect on their name. It was founded in 1909 by the National Religious Training School, and I'm gonna fuck this up. CHAUTAUQA for colored race. All right, its name changed in 1923 to the Durham State School for Negroes, which is interesting because 1923. I'm gonna leave that alone. Then the name changed again to the General Assembly, the North Carolina College at Durham, and then finally came down in 1969 to be named North Carolina Central. Guess who went to this school though? Bishop Eddie Long went to North Carolina Central. Yep, Bishop Tight Shirt himself. So one time for North Carolina Central. Quest, I know you're gonna do big things this year, baby boy. Go ahead and like I say, shock the world. That's all I got.
Well, funny thing is kind of glancing over the last of the comments. And Nika said it seems like every episode ends on communication. So we definitely know that there is an issue with communicating, whether it be in relationships, and I speak on relationships with husband and wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, mother, daughter, father, son, whatever. There's the issue in communication. And I will say this, because I was just having a conversation earlier during the week with Alex the man. And we were talking about where our communication issues were. And I know on my end, I failed in communication because it's a lot of stuff that I didn't say because I didn't want to rock the boat, or I felt like that would cut off or end the relationship. So there was a lot of stuff I tolerated and did not speak on. But now that the place that we're in, which is many years after we have broken up, we can have those tough conversations without the negative, or just us really being in an honest place. And at that same time, I'm in that same situation with my brother, where me and Marcus are having those tough conversations where we couldn't have before, because you don't want to make nobody mad, or you don't want to lose that person or rub somebody the wrong way. I won't actually say that I'm in a point of I don't give a fuck, or that I'm in a point of shit, really it is what it is. If you leave from me being honest with you or whatever, then so be it. But I'm just in that place to where me voicing my opinion and me being heard is more important than you getting mad at me. Or if you leave, that's just shit, that's on you. Flag on the play. But Another thing that Duriel said, that we need to get back to loving each other. It's hard to get to a place of loving each other when many people don't know what love is. People have an idea of love or what they would like love to be, but many people don't know what love actually is.
Preach.
So it's hard to get back to somewhere you never experienced. So on that note, though, next week we are doing a Friday and Saturday. We won't do Chew the Fat Friday because we are doing the Ask a Man segment on Friday. So, ladies, you can ask the men any question that we have on the panel, and they are supposed to honestly answer your question. So,
DW.
Yes.
So, with that, when you ask a question, all we ask is you do not get upset, do not get angry, do not answer to rebut. Just take in what we're saying, because we're, just to be honest, we're breaking the man code. Sorry, we're breaking the man code. I'm gonna just be straight up. So we're giving you the opportunity. Any question that you want to ask, from the rooter to the tutor, ask the question. However,
you have to pick those parts. The rooter, tutor.
Yeah. Listen. Okay. All we ask is you do not. I repeat, do not take offense to it, because it's all in love. We're trying to educate. We're trying to build this bridge for us to communicate.
Yeah.
That's all I'm. Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. And we're gonna do the same. We're gonna have the same. Oh, and respect our answer. That's the other thing too. Respect our answer. Because we're gonna do the same thing for you guys.
Yeah. So true that. So on Saturday, where we are gonna have the Ask the Women segment. So the guys will be able to ask the ladies that are on the platform questions as well. And we ask for that same respect. Well, this Nika Pinks, she gonna have a whole arsenal.
I bet.
Just like DW, he got an arsenal himself. So everybody loaded on both sides. We got somebody cocked and loaded and ready. So we're going to have those questions because, as you see, communication is an issue, and that is a door that definitely needs to be open. You have to communicate in life with whatever you do. You got to communicate on your job. You got to communicate with your kids. Communication is so important in life. Like, very, very important. So we're, hey, when we decided to start this podcast, like, that was one of the things we wanted to do. Those taboo conversations, the conversations that people scared to have, don't want to have. Like, we want to have those conversations. Like, hey, I mean, it's issues that's real. We ain't making it up. These are real issues. That is definitely in, I don't want to just say the Black community, it's just in life in general. Everybody's experiencing it. But we need to have those conversations. So, hey, we gonna do what it do. Hopefully it will be fun and everybody don't get their drawers and their panties all in the knot. It's to be fun, it's to be honest, it's to be informative, and just hopefully shine a different aspect on some questions that we really been wanting to know. What's up, Nene?
I got a finger.
No. I agree with everything you're saying. If you're done, I didn't know, when you're done, just finish saying what you were saying. I just want to say thank you.
Oh. So, like I said, we just gonna go ahead and we want to put it out there. I mean, what many don't know, this podcast not only helps and heals us in many areas, because some things we need to discuss ourselves, and sometimes we need to see that just the other side to get that understanding. So, I mean, Let's do it. Take the boxing gloves off. You get a pad and pen for next week. Write down your questions. If y'all are comfortable with posting them in the comments next week, let's do it. If y'all need to inbox me, Nika, DW, post them in the group. Like, look at him talking about represent fellas. Anything on that? You might want to hush because you might get pulled on this panel next week, sir. So just we have even the podcast page. Like, there's so many ways to reach out to us if y'all want to send us questions and don't feel like comfortable asking. Like I said, man, just hit us up and post on here and say, hey, can you inbox me? We got, we want to submit questions, whatever. Just, work that out, and we got y'all. We'll do the best that we can. All right, Nene, what you gotta say, girlfriend?
I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. Thank you, T, for inviting me on. I really enjoyed myself. I had no clue that there was so many. Well, I do have a clue. I'm just saying that there's so many people out there, that think the way you think. You think you're the only one that think, but there's a lot of people. You don't realize it until you come on something like this, and you're speaking and you're talking and you're saying what you need to say, and and you see people agreeing with you. It makes you feel good. So, like you said, it makes you feel appreciated.
Most definitely.
I just want to say to you guys, thank you guys for having me. I enjoyed the conversation. It was wonderful. I loved it. I hope I can come back on some other time. I really, really, truly loved it. So I've had a great time. I've enjoyed myself. And T know that I am a big sports fan, and she know I love her in order to miss this game tonight. Right. I love you.
Yes, very much. Yes, I know. We was heavy in the sports back then, boy. We rocked it though. So
I kept sneaking and trying to take a peek at the score, and I'm like, then I got disappointed when I saw the score.
Phoenix lost.
I saw it. Oh. So I'm disappointed. So
what was that? Nika said, it was a pleasure.
Yes.
Great vibe, definitely.
It was a pleasure. Yes, I had a great time.
So that's what's up. Well, you already know where your door is extended at. I've already extended the invitation for you next week, so you already know that. I'm just waiting on you to let me know. So I already told you.
I'm in.
There you go. There we go, Nika Pinks. We got it for next week. So yes, let's do it. Let's do it. So thank y'all to everybody that tunes in, that supports. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Most definitely. Check in next Friday and Saturday for real. I'm sure it's gonna be interesting. We might have to have prayer. Look, another prayer meeting.
Another come to Jesus moment.
Not a prayer meeting. Why always gotta be prayer meetings?
Cause she dramatic. Come on now, she dramatic.
There be prayer that's needed.
Talking about everything.
The
main heathen in charge.
Then he said that in the top. Prayer is important. Prayer is needed. You need prayer. Prayer make things happen. See, you ain't even, we pray and you ain't even mad about the cookie no more.
Prayer changes.
Yeah, because I got me some more. Man, that's why.
On that note, we will see y'all next week. Thank y'all. Much love.
Have a good time.
I mean, we were just sitting back, chopping it up, reminiscing about the good old days and all that. Tracking my roots, where I came from and where I'm going. But like I say, man, always said it. It's not about the